All right, and we are live. Hooray! So, welcome to Lamentations of the Martian Princess, Episode 1. So I'm here together with 4 victims, or brave players. You know, look at that face as we start off the campaign. So, I'll give you a quick background. We'll go over a quick background over like what the scenario is, and then we're going to head right into like player introductions and go on with it. We're starting off in the city of Vesta. It's a human city in Mars. The human cities are in the places that nobody else wants because the humans were a marginalized race for quite some time until the Great War. The Great War is kind of shrouded in mystery, but what you know is afterwards the humans had a chance to go out and build cities of their own because other races such as the Antha were devastated and took a while to get their mojo back. The actual city of Vesta used to be an Antha city. It was completely abandoned, and so humans took this over quite some time ago. And over time, you've developed quite a society there. The reason that a city like Vesta is able to exist is because the Antha still patrol the area. Now, why should that make any kind of difference? Well, because there are creatures like Tharks, these big giant 4-armed troll-like monstrosities, which find humans to be delicious. And the Antha really enjoy keeping the peace, although they demand tribute from places like Vesta and from the nearby city of Paragon. And Vesta is an engineering marvel when it comes right down to it. It gets all of its water from wells, but it's able to pump this stuff up with a lot of labor and actually you'll have like a series of canals to irrigate the surrounding countryside because there's only a few wells out there. So it's quite the feat that the humans have managed to put out or put on. So, you're not the most hospitable part of Mars, but you're doing pretty well. And Mars is a dying planet. It's not the arid, nasty Mars that we think of in a lot of other Sword and Planet. It's kind of in the transition between being more or less Earth-like to, becoming less and less hospitable. However, that's not really that important. Today, what's important is, our characters. There is a wizard among us whose name is what?
Parthalion.
Parthalion, that's correct. And Parthalion is one of the disciples of a departed wizard known as Sarasthenes. Sarasthenes was a council member, a man of some importance in the city of Vesta, and about 3 months ago, he was reported to have been assassinated. You can't confirm this, but the Vizier Makel, who was a man that Sarasthenes did not really get along with in the council, was a man of a high enough importance that said that, supposedly members of the House of the Spider, as far as he could tell, had assassinated him. The nefarious assassins escaped. However, he took over the investigation and managed the cremation of Sarasthenes' body. Since then, you and your companions, your other wizard companions, have pretty much had that house to yourself. And there are some servants left over. Pretty much what I'm doing is giving you a safe house. Out of character, Well, I'm throwing the party a bone. But at this point, the party has been given a task. Not a task, but they've been solicited by a merchant named Javed. Javed is a member of the Clarion House. And we'll talk to him in a little while. But he has a problem, and he wants some help with that problem. But let's go ahead and introduce the characters. So, Eloy, why don't you go ahead and give me a...
I am playing Parthalion, the wizard. He is the eldest of the 3 apprentices of Sarasthenes. He is an alchemist by trade, deals in metallurgy and soil samples, preparing terrain for crops and, more mundane scientific type stuff within the community. But in secret, these apprentices have been meeting with Sarasthenes and learning that there is, magic. There is a parallel way of looking at reality that can actually, operates under different laws. But this is not something that's widely received, so they've kept it secret, right? They're like a little coven of wizards, and yeah, they have their spells. He's an elderly man. He's about 60. He's got arthritis. He's not the fastest mover or the strongest man, but he's keen of mind, and he knows a bit of magic. So that's bald-headed and white-bearded Parthalion.
Right
That's
on.
it. That's it. Yep.
That's a good guy. And this is a good place to bring up the fact that, like, being a wizard, is not exactly a good idea to make public. Not only is it something that would cause a little bit of fear and consternation and perhaps persecution by other humans, but there's another race, a sister race, or perhaps a different manifestation of the Anther race called the Talon, who absolutely considered magic to be their divine right and attach almost a religious significance to it. And should Saracens actually made himself public as a sorcerer, it's a good chance they would have come up knocking and probably taken him away. Maybe they did. Who knows? But anyhow. Del, what about your character?
I'm playing Thane Koja. As a young man, he was orphaned together with another group of ruffians. They were basically street rats. They had gotten caught by the militia thieving and was given an opportunity to either go into the militia or go to jail. And they opted to go into the militia. This gave him a second chance, straightened him up a little bit, and got him on a path. Since then, he's out of the militia, and he had taken up the habit of trying to scavenge for different resources or books or relics of some types, of which he thought were maybe useful for Sorocides and the mages. He kept it under wraps what he was doing, and Sorocides gave him a little bit of coin here or there to facilitate his living. Other than that, he's basically a sellsword, but in between times he would Sorocides would kind of fill in the gap there, So that's pretty much where he'll be at, and he's wondering where Sorocides is himself right now, and he's a little bit low on funds, trying to wonder what to do, looking for a job of some sort.
And Mars, it's an awful place to be out of work, I tell you that.
Yes.
Awful place.
Very little coin.
That's right. And that's also, you bring up a good point, though, that the one of the things that's happened is after this Great War, there are relics, there are things that people would find interesting. However, most of that got immediately gathered up by the other races, such as Scarans and Talons and what have you, because these things were of some value. What's left over is really hard to find and in some pretty dangerous places. In fact, there are some ruins. There are some places that simply nobody goes, because either it's so dangerous or you're not really sure why the other races don't go there. There are stories about the Great Race, whatever they might have been, the race that originally lived on Mars before these other races arrived, because one of the things that at least legend tells you is none of your races, not humans, not Antha, not Scaran, none of you are actually native. Anyhow, Todd, what about your character?
I'm playing Umanak, who is a member of the Hanu'u tribe. They are a nomadic people that sail across the Sawgrass Sea, which is nowhere near here, as far as I know. He's got two other companions who keep to the shadows, and for now, and he's been sent by them to do this favor for Javid. He's not the brightest guy in the tool shed. He's not the wisest guy either. But he's got a strong arm and a strong constitution. He's covered in tribal tattoos that kind of give his body the look of you almost think like a killer whale sort of design all over, and his hair is in cornrows. Tall, lanky, but strong enough.
Right on. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at your character sheet. He's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. So, head cast again.
That's super dumb.
Yep.
8 intelligence, 7 wisdom. Sorry for the out of game talk, but I'm liking this guy.
Well, they told him, they said, Umanak, go do that job. We'll kind of keep an eye on things. So he's like,
No wonder
okay.
he's going on this adventure. You can't figure out the other guys. All right. And Jose, what about your character?
All right, I'm playing Bran Thoranvar. Bran is a barbarian tribesman from a people called the Lankian. The Lankian are just picture a mixture of Celtiberians or Gauls with Lakota Cheyenne type thing, right? So they got the organization of the Celts, but they got the culture of the horse warriors. And because the Lankian are horsemen, they were sort of adopted by the Ishtari, who are kind of centaur-like, right? So they were sort of adopted, and there's one in particular who's been a friend of Bran's family for years, and teach their shaman about the mysteries of not quite magic, right? But the mysteries of the natural world, and teach the young kids how to survive in the wasteland. And so Bran, basically, he's a young warrior who recently came of age and wants to make a name for himself. But he's a little more level-headed than your average tribesman, and he sort of, like a young man, wants to see the world. And he has an uncle, Cormac, who used to be a sellsword before coming back and becoming a sort of war chief. And Cormac had worked with this guy called Javed, right? So he said, go to Vesta. Javed is a guy you can trust as much as you can trust any city man to get you some work, right? So Bran is tall and slender, but strong, and he's got some blue tattoos on his arms and chest, dresses in leathers and animal skins, as you'd expect, and he's got like gray eyes and long dark hair, but tan skin, right? As some people who grow in those wastelands, those plains.
Gotcha. Right on. All right, so we're going to start off that you guys are actually all in the house of Saracens. Over time, you fellas have at least met each other. Certainly Thane would have known Perthalion quite a bit, having come in and out of the house. But you've all had some connections. So the manservant Asper that works is still in Saracens' house. Kind of the guy that runs the house, for lack of a better word, the steward, if you will. Comes up to you and says, Master Parthalion,
Yes,
I believe it is time to go visit Master Javed.
Yes, that must be settled. I'll gather my things and we shall go see him.
He did stress discretion, as you not to make a big fanfare, if you will. And he doesn't look at Parthalion at all, but just kind of looks at the other fellows to perhaps behave in a circumspect manner, as to not attract undue attention.
We'll try not to break any necks this time, sir.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
It's an old man, should draw no attention from having the company of some strong bodyguards and perhaps porters. I don't think we will draw undue attention. Shall we then?
Excellent.
We'll just escort you.
A fine escort, an escort, yes, and just Asper looks completely nervous, but just lets you out of the house, practically crossing himself, and this is kind of a nervous fellow. Runs the house really, really well, but sort of a worrywart.
I lean on a gnarled walking staff. Old man, he doesn't walk that fast, but he's hardier than he looks. So we make our way to Yaved's house.
Kind of like us, most of the players here.
Oh God, I gotta take another leave. So the city of Vesta, it's early or late morning, just before the afternoon, and the sounds and smells of the city, it's just all hustle and bustle. You can smell like meat cooking. You hear the hawking of vendors. There's just animals of every description, not just the usual horses and camels, but there are these are animals that you would find on Earth, whatever that may be. It's a land of legend. But also, there's just other animals that just nobody on Earth would have ever seen. The Martian animals are quite unusual, but we'll get to that later. But it's just there's just a hustle and bustle, all different sorts of people.
Umanak's not really he's not a city person, so a lot of these things he's not seen before. So he's kind of awestruck by all these sights and sounds and smells.
Right.
Maybe distracted. Point of distraction.
Okay, Thane is making sure he pays attention to anybody that's attempting to accidentally bump into Barthalion or any of the rest of us and lift anything.
Really? Why don't you roll me a d6?
Pickpocket. That's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay. Well, you don't actually notice anything. But
now remember,
there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that look different in the streets. There really are.
I used to be one myself, so
right.
Okay,
right.
Keeping a sharp eye out.
Right. And let me just double check one other thing. I mean, you're keeping an eye out. But there's lots and lots of shifty people out here. You see jugglers and just the whole cacophony. You actually start to hear. As you're going down one cross street, one of the major streets, you start to hear people kind of making a bit of a commotion, sort of like shouts of alarm and make way, and a lot of people just seem to be a little bit frightened. It's not it's not a panic, but
definitely people are splitting to let something that's approaching us come through.
It is coming your way.
Okay. I'm going to grab Barthalion's arm and kind of lead him to the side of the road to make sure that that we're not, in the direct path of it.
Oh, gotcha. What now is this commotion?
How long? Let's ask here though. How long has Umanak and Bran? How long have they actually been in the city?
Less than a month.
Less than a month.
Yeah, a couple of weeks at most. He just started making contact with Javette.
All right. And in the meantime, though, I mean, I imagine Thane's been around for quite some time. So yeah, he's been in the militia and everything. So Thane and Barthalion, this, as soon as you see like what's happening, you realize what's coming. After you start to see the people start to part, and you hear like the telltale sound of kind of like a. That's my great master sounds, and like as a sea of people sort of part, you can see there Antha riding their usual mounts, and these are larger than a horse, reptilian, you would guess, 6 legs, kind of a serpentine neck, carnivorous beasts that they usually ride on.
Are they muzzled?
They are not.
Oh, okay.
They are not muzzled. Rather large beasts, and you can see a full retinue of Antha. This is not that unusual to see them come into the city every once in a while.
Yeah, I'll look for a little alleyway to kind of perch into, or a little alcove to get out of their path.
They come by every once in a while, and there's about 20 of them that are riding past you, including one that appears to be like more decorated. Actually has some armor with some sort of decoration on it, a bit of a plume on his helmet. Antha are about 6.5 feet tall. They are just big humanoid.
Are they acting aggressive in any way, or are they not really? They're just
not really aggressively. It's just as if they have the right of way.
Is this the usual Antha patrol? Maybe come to collect taxes or something?
That really looks to be the case.
Yeah.
You know, this is not your first rodeo, although it is unusual because there are 2 Talons with them, and the Talons are much wispier. They're still rather tall. Very, very different looking, but from everything you've heard, they're the same race.
Oh, so they
They're
do
kind of an
look
enigma.
different. Yeah.
They do look different. Then
It's more like a male and female version, isn't it? In a way, slightly, maybe.
Exactly. You know,
Okay.
not exactly, but you know, you've heard stories about Talon and Antha. Certainly, like Parthalia would have heard more. There is some speculation that Talon may be female, but they appear to be sexless.
Okay.
You don't know the last time that anybody's actually dissected a Talon, although you've read some pretty odd books in Saraceni's library about
Okay.
the anatomy.
That's exactly why I want to get him out of kind of sight from them, because I know what he does and what he toys with, the magics, and they do the same. So I'm a little bit paranoid about him getting pegged.
Would I have encountered these people before?
Would you have what? I'm sorry?
Encountered Antha and Talons previously?
You would have seen some Antha patrols, definitely, in your life. Probably seen a Talon or two.
Okay.
At one point or another.
Barthalion says, be still and try not to draw their attention. It's a regular patrol, but the Antha have no love for us.
Yes, they're a necessary evil. Just let them pass.
Yeah. Brand kind of just stays there quietly, narrows his eyes a bit as he looks at them, but doesn't say anything.
Umanak really likes the feathers on the officer's regalia.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, and they do. The what appears to be the leader of the patrol actually looks your way and doesn't smile, but just kind of looks at you, gives you the once over, and they continue to run with a reaction roll of 12.
Yes. Okay.
As this guy was very creepily checking him out.
They're in a good mood.
All right.
Yeah, we pulled the veil from the mechanic, but yes, that could have gone very badly.
Yeah. If he had kicked him in the face, it would have been a good mood. Yeah,
it would have been a different modifier involved, but so they do pass, and after a moment or two, the crowd starts to fill back in. This is just something that you've seen happen, and when they come to town, people give them a wide berth.
Okay. Well, I look down there and make sure that they're gone, and then Parthalion, let's continue on. It's safe.
Yes.
And I walk out into the street.
A little bit further, in the direction that they went, and they were going towards the direction of the palace. You hear a sound that's always distressing when you hear the terrified whinny of a horse, and then you hear the sounds of these creatures that they ride, and you've heard this sound before. Every once in a while, they fancy a bit of horse meat. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
they're rending them to pieces.
And you're pretty sure somewhere up there, maybe 50 yards ahead of you, the mounts of the Anther are now eating somebody's horse.
Oh,
so
they're feeding on some poor merchant's horse.
I'll say, Lankian, if you value your life, do not attempt to get between the Antha and their prey. I know you value horses, but this is the price we pay to maintain peace.
Some of our chiefs have had to pay tribute to these bastards. I know what it means.
Yes, it's a necessary evil for now. Okay.
Barthalion,
And so, unless you decide to do anything else, you may proceed to the estate of Javed.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we go, I guess.
All right. And Javed has a pretty decent estate, if you can call it that. Is a shop was like a storefront, rather large storefront, but it's connected to like one big adobe sort of building, whereas the rest of it is his actual house. And not the first time you've been there. You get let in. There are people that have obviously been expecting you to come let you in. So, yes, Master Parthalion, come in, gentlemen.
Okay, when he says that, I walk in with Parthalion into the foyer.
Thanks, Yeved. We come in answer to your summons.
Yes. Won't you sit down? Have some figs. Have some wine. Come. It is good to see you. And he grabs Parthalion, kisses both cheeks. It is good to see you.
Thank you, Yeved. Okay. We are parched. It's not a far walk, but it is for a man of my years. I'll gladly take your wine.
Yes, of course.
You're familiar with my companions, I take it?
Yes. I've seen that many times. Many times you've done me good.
Yes, I nod at him and shake his hand. And is it a cushion or is it a chair that he's that he's wanting us to sit down at?
Cushions. Why not?
Okay. All right. I set my weapons in the corner and take a seat.
Umanak has already stuffed his face full of figs and trying to wash it down with the wine when he sees Javed has just kissed Val on the cheeks, and he's like, oh. Then he grabs him by the cheeks and kisses him on both, because he figures this must be the way you do things here.
And it's like, first thing in the charming. And who are you? Swallow, my man. Tell me your name.
I am Umanak of the Tanu'u. Drusemba and Crispin sent me.
Yes, you. He looks at you. He gives you the once over. So, you will do nicely. Yes. He pats you on the shoulders.
That's what they said too.
And who is this other man?
Name is Bran. My uncle Cormac said that you are a trustworthy paymaster.
Cormac, yes. Oh, yes, he sent me the letter. Yes, of course. You must be him. That is fantastic. Oh, your uncle and I have been great friends. Sit down. So, gentlemen, I have a problem. I need some help. Of some capable men, which is why I've asked you here.
All right.
I can pay you well. I can make this worth your while. But I have a delicate problem, something that I need discretion.
A horse blackmailing you?
No. Why would they blackmail me? Many of them are in my employ. They could not blackmail me.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, he's correct.
I can be discretion. Yes.
I can be discretion.
And Javed casts this worried look at Parthalion for a second, and kind of glances his eyes back towards Umanak.
So, these men should prove strong and worthy of any task you have. We, of course, in Sarasthani's name, are indebted to your good service and discretion, Master Yeved. What is it you would have us do?
And he takes like an imaginary hat off and puts it on his heart. Yes, Sarasthani is still so sorry. Such a good man. Yes. But I have an item. I had an item. A most unusual item. Something that was a curiosity. I had a buyer. Somebody interested in this item, but it has become stolen from me very recently. And I need to get it back. It is an item of some value. Not much value, but value to the right person.
Stolen? Who do you think done this? Who would have done this? One of the houses?
I believe it was of the Thorn House, the man called Elim. I cannot prove this.
I know him.
I cannot prove this. And Elim is a merchant. Yeah, Elam comes with. Elam's kind of a dangerous man. Elam's a merchant of liquors. He's a merchant of fruits like Javed. He's a merchant of some unusual items. He's kind of one of Javed's direct competitors.
Yes, he's a merchant of vices.
But he is like a prominent member, or a visible member of the Thorn House. And Thorn House, is a fast growing house. It's a competitor to the smaller Clarion House that Javed's part of. He said, the thing is, I have men. I could go and demand the item. We could go establish a raid. We raid each other all the time. However, I cannot afford to have my name attached to a direct attack against them. When I say we raid each other, we in the streets, there is the fighting, there is the posturing, but this would bring...
Yes, I've had to quell a few fights in the militia.
Oh, yes, of course, you know these things. You're not still connected with the militia, are you?
No,
I pay my taxes.
I finished my service. I finished my service, and I do need work. So, any work you may have, and you're a good man. I've never had any problem with you or your men.
You are an excellent liar.
Well, yes, I lie when I need to.
I do not know if I can offer you a real job because, you see, the thing, this is a discretion. I need to have some kind of distance between myself and anybody should anything go wrong.
Yes. I see. Your merchant houses have your unique customs and ways of doing things. Since we are indebted to you, I suppose we can attempt this task of yours. Tell me more about this item. What does it look like? What is it that we're expected to recuperate?
It is, it's just to describe this item. It's about, I'm trying to look for an object right here. That's about big enough. It's big as like a
basketball?
No, not quite basketball size. Not quite basketball size. Let's take a look here. It's got it's about the size of this book right here. Okay. So it's about I should have come up with this a little bit better beforehand, but it's about this big. It's heavy. Mm-hmm. It's this size, but the thing is pretty heavy. You're probably talking like 20 pounds or so. Has a large gem or piece of glass in the middle of it. He's really kind of, he keeps on saying, it's a gem, but not really a gem. Nothing like you've ever seen. It's yellowish, reddish. You can see both sides, and there's lots of protrusions coming out of it. Just little spikes all the way around the side of it. And it's more or less like oval shaped, like egg shaped.
And this gem is embedded in some sort of metal casing?
Yes, it's unusual metal. Unusual. Very, very, greenish sort of metal.
Is it like a relic of some type?
Yes, I believe it is a relic. It is not.
Ah, interesting.
It is not. It is something that is only really important to esoteric collectors. Nothing that has a practical use. But
I see. Is it an object of the natural world or manufactured in some?
Oh, you ask such questions. About that. These are things I do not know. I just know that I'm a merchant. I'm a buyer. I have the item. I acquired the item. I wish to sell it to him. He would be very disappointed if I do not get it for him. And, I hate to disappoint this man.
I understand.
Yes, it is understandable.
And let's see. Let me just take a quick look here. So... I can tell you, Bran and Parthalion, you notice that Javed is a little bit. He's more concerned than he's letting on.
Okay.
You're wise enough to determine that there's something that he's not telling you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is me using karma by looking at their stats and deciding without a die roll, who's figuring something out and who's not. This is not your Pathfinder perception.
All your secrets.
Thane does not want to figure anything out.
That's part of play. That's part of the thing out of character for once. That's part of the thing of playing online. It's like, well, what am I doing? You know what? Anyhow, but you guys are kind of figuring out there's something this guy isn't really telling you. He's a little worried.
Has this buyer of yours threatened you?
Why would you say that? No, he would be very disappointed. I mean, no.
Some people take disappointment worse than others, is all.
Yes, you are right. And I hate to disappoint somebody. I hate to disappoint them.
Yes.
So
he has his name to worry about.
Exactly.
Reputation.
Exactly.
So this Ilum of House Thorn, do you think he is keeping this item in his estate? Have you been to his estate?
I believe so. I have not been, but I have connections. I have people that would feed me information. I believe that it is there. I suspected him, and there were a few girls. You see, and I had some of the servant girls, some of the girls that have done work for me. Their sisters, work for me. I have connections, and even an old man such as yourself can appreciate, beauty and all these things. But some of them looked at I'm pretty sure that he has it. I'm pretty sure I know where in the wing of his estate he would have it. And so I believe that perhaps under cover of darkness, the right group of men could go and reacquire this item for me. Perhaps tonight. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about his guards? You were thinking that, weren't you?
Yes, and I was more worried about my brothers in the militia. But I do need coin. I can't survive much longer without it. Since Serosthenes is down and there's no work, I mumble to myself, and then, yes, I will do it. I will do it. I have to do something.
I was told to help you, so I'm here to help you.
I like this man.
Yes, he's a good man. He's a good man. He has our back. I can see.
Yes. So where in the estate is this item kept?
I believe it's in the eastern wing. And I know that one of my girls should be able to drug the outside guards. Just the outside. I do not know what would happen inside, but I know he guards, and he talks about there's some doors around the east wing, around the north wing. There's kind of a patrol. As he starts talking, you realize these guys all kind of keep an eye on each other. It's just a game that they're playing. But he explains, he's got some women. They're friendly with these men. They can bring him like the evening tea, that sort of thing. He's pretty sure he can drug those guards and get you at least a way in. After that, you're on your own.
Any manner of guardian beasts, dogs, or other... what's the word I'm looking for? Guardian beasts, I guess.
Does he have dogs? That's an interesting question.
One question. I'll give him ideas.
Yeah, does he now?
Don't spike the punch, yeah.
Yeah, no, and hey, actually, Javed knows he does have some dogs, but he has no idea where in the estate they are.
Very well.
Javed, do you know the layout of his manor? Of the wing of where we need to go. Mighty evidence.
Man. And he pulls out this like map.
No.
Okay, good.
Real detailed,
Good.
like freaking like almost like blueprints of this guy's house. Not everything, but a good, like he's definitely had people go in there and tell him where stuff is,
Okay,
It's
can you send me the
One of his
PDF?
direct competitors.
Oh, can you send me the PDF real quick?
Is the place where it's being stored? Is it like a study or a vault or a sleeping chamber? How will we know this place?
Yeah, well, he starts going over the whole like east wing area, and he's pointing like it could be here, here, and here. There's a few rooms in that area that he thinks it might be kept in. And once again he starts telling like his information is getting sketchier and sketchier at that point. But he's going from as he said, like these stupid women, these stupid servant girls. They can only give me so much information, but it really, I believe it's there. They're very imperative. Very imperative. I can't imagine he doesn't have a buyer as well. Something we need to get back.
I understand.
Soon. And I would be most grateful. I'm sure I not only could I pay you, but he goes, I'm sure I have items here that you would be most interested in, Parthalion.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed I would.
Maybe some drugs or some sleep powders or something.
How'd you make that picture come out of that thing, though? That was very neat. Very interesting. I like that. I like the picture.
Oh, yes. That is a nice picture. Yes, you will do well. You will do nicely.
I suppose as part of this recovery of your item, it would look suspicious if we only took the desired crystal. I suppose if we should encounter some items of value, then perhaps we would be better served by stealing a few, make it look like a common robbery. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, I agree.
Well, if that, Javed, you do what you must, but as long as you don't take too much time and not retrieve this item. But yes, if you feel that would cover your tracks, maybe that would be, that might make sense. That might make sense. Yes, good thinking. Good thinking.
Of course,
are we supposed to kill this man, Elam?
Kill him. And he starts to smile for a second. Oh, well, that would be quite the favor.
So we are?
Yeah. Well, that would be, and Javed sits back. If he were dead, but no. I really want you to get this item back. But then maybe we can talk later.
No, he's only paying us to steal it, not to kill it. That would be more money.
Very well.
We need to leave out whenever they change the guards. After the markets are closed, there's less of the town watch out, and that would be the best time. And it is not the full moon tonight, so that will aid us in our cover, in our approach and escape. So it's a good day you picked.
Thane, you know this militia where you used to work.
Yes.
Do you know if they patrol the area where this house is? Very heavily.
I know their patrol patterns, and he's in more of a better side of town. So we patrol slightly less there. There seems to be less difficulty, and most of the militias and the watch is in the outer areas of the city. So we should be okay. We should be okay if we time it correctly.
Yeah.
And as long as they haven't changed their patterns, which is it's only been 2 months since I left.
I'm glad you're along for this. That you are certainly a valuable asset in this recovery.
Yes.
So let us go discretion.
When we steal this gimmick for you, Do you want us to bring it back to you here, or do you want to meet else?
Oh, I need it back here soon. I mean, but don't let yourself be followed. If you need to, bring it back to the home of Sarasines and send me a message. Yes.
Very well. And we are to give it only to your hands.
Only
not
to my
any
hands,
of
yes.
Your servants.
No, not to my servants. No, only to my hands. Yes. In fact, that is a good idea. Bring it to the home of Sarasines, yes, but do not be followed.
Yes, and Sarosity's home is closer to the House of Thorn.
Yeah, this guy's got a good map. Alrighty.
Oh, very well. I have little experience in these matters, but it seems we are provided an opportunity. I may have some means of distracting these guards as well. Very well. We shall endeavor to recover this item as soon as possible. I trust then you will have our reward upon delivery.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, my friend. When have I ever failed to deliver?
Do you need us to arrange anything, Parthelion, while you look through his offerings?
I am thinking if we should avail ourselves of more equipment, take the opportunity of our friend Yaved's establishment here. I know little of entering and breaking places like this. Is there more gear we should require? Ropes, things like that. I have candles to guide us in the darkness. And if this servant girl can provide us a means of entry into the estate, then I don't see the need for anything else. But again, I am not experienced in this matters.
Yes, if she can open the door and let us into the place, that will ease. That will put us in a better situation.
Oh, and yeah, just turns around because I do not believe she will be able to let you in. I only have a woman that will be able to drug the guards outside. Getting in will be, of course, your
first task.
First task, yes.
Well then, so what time is it? Out of character, what time is it in the game world?
You have actually been talking with him for quite some time. So I mean, you end up getting there like just about the beginning of the afternoon. So it's been about 4 or 5 hours since you went over his place. You've been talking logistics and back and forth. And,
So it's a few hours still.
Negotiating. Been fed. There's been many more figs. Some unidentified meat. More figs.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was, Umanak was not really paying attention. I think there's lots of interesting things in this chamber, and he must have knocked something over and broke it. So what did I just break?
Looks like broke some kind of bowl.
Perhaps we can cause a diversion.
How bad was it? Oh, it was actually kind of an expensive bowl. It's like, John, that will come out of your.
Simba will fix that for you. He's used to that. I'm good at breaking things, and he fixes them.
Perhaps you could cause a distraction on the other side of town, and we could, as we break into the house. If not, I mean, we could.
I can distraction. Yes, I can distraction.
He could distraction.
Yes, distraction. As soon as you tell me, yes, distraction. I can do that.
Yes.
It sounds like
I'll take these pieces of this bowl and I will take them to Jasimba and he will mend it for you, Devin.
Yes. He'd be a better distraction, shall we fill him full of wine?
Yes.
Well, it sounds like at least a rope, grapnel, and maybe a crowbar, unless any of you know how to open those damn locks city men use.
Yeah, so we need to go in light. Heavy armor and boots are not going. Will not make us silent in the map.
Travel light. That is the way. Always.
Yes. And no clumsiness. No clumsiness. You go on with us.
How shall we open these doors then? Does any of you have experience in these matters to do so quietly and discreetly? Else, I fear the Lankian is on the right track, scaling the wall and opening the door from the inside.
I can perhaps attempt what it's been since my youth, since I've been engaged in that tomfoolery. But it may come in handy.
Well, then fetch your
have him join our group then.
Fetch your ropes and your climbing gear, Lankian. We will try it Think Koja's ways first, and if that doesn't pay off, we will then proceed with your plan. Are we in agreement, gentlemen?
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so we shall wait till the change of watch at the rise of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck, gentlemen, and call me. Have your servants come get me when it is done.
We will.
We will do this.
And I will kiss Jabed again on both cheeks.
He kisses you back. He embraces you and says, Be not clumsy. Use discretion.
Yes.
Use discretion.
Yes. I will. Discretion, good.
You will be a good distraction.
A distraction, yes. And a discretion, yes. A distraction and a discretion.
Leaving Javed's fine household. Some hours have gone past. Some 4 or 5 hours. Is there anything else you plan to do prior to casing the joint later on tonight?
I guess if we need to get our hands on that rope and grappling hook.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we took the map, and he offered Parthalion access to, I'm assuming, any kind of aids or whatever he had in there, or potions or any kind of different things, right?
No, not really.
No, yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay, I was thinking that he did.
And in fact, you didn't get to keep the map; you got to see the map. You want to make it if you want to draw as a cartographer.
It's a good thing I've got a photographic memery. Is a skill.
And you did some cartography.
Cartography. Yeah, I did.
So, nice.
Just you've drawn yourself a little bit of representation of that. Yeah, but he's keeping his official super secret map.
Yeah, I would have taken note of it and tried to scribble it down when I left. Gee whiz. It's got me nervous.
There's quite a commotion as you're going back towards. I'm assuming you're going back towards the House of Saracens to kind of hang out for a while prior to. Unless you're going someplace else. Once again, there's quite a commotion. It is a very different commotion than you heard this morning. There is screaming. There are people running.
This is going back to Saraceni's house, correct?
Right. Yeah, there are people running.
Okay.
Once again, this appears to be coming more or less from the direction of the palace.
Oh, well,
There are people running. You hear like the clang of swords in each other.
Ooh.
Are the animals running?
Is the city being attacked?
It comes from the palace, from the direction of the palace. Let's hope not.
Okay, are there any beasts running away from the palace?
At this particular point, there are people running. You actually see a horse or two kind of gallop by. One with a rider, one without a rider, and you can hear like a bit of skirmishing.
All
As
right.
the crowd
Okay.
once again starts to
This
break. Go ahead.
this might be the time to go ahead and try to break into it since the distraction's already made for us.
I thought that was
What
my
time
job.
is it?
Ah,
Yes.
It is about 5 o'clock in the night. It is still daylight.
still
Okay.
there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So Bran will grab somebody who's running away by the arm. What in the nine hells is going on over there?
They say the Antha. They came out of the palace storming around. They're mad as hell.
The Antha.
Run for your life.
Yes.
But the Antha.
Let me go, man. Let me go.
Go, please.
Didn't the Antha leave this morning? We saw them coming out, right? Not going into the
They were
palace.
going in.
Oh, they were going in.
They were
this
going
morning.
We're going
We
into
saw-
the palace. Now they're coming out and
Oh, now they're coming out. They must have
Yeah.
looted or something. Yeah.
and rolling heads. I'm trying to get Parthalion. Let's go. Let's continue on and get
Make
to the
my
house.
Back to our.
We don't need it. We need to let them
House.
cool off. They'll clear
Yes.
out. They'll leave.
Make haste. Make haste.
Yeah. The heck with them.
And as the crowd parts, as you're making your own haste, you can see a few city guards, a few of the militia, skirmishing with the Antha, not doing very well. And the Antha are starting to come through at like a breakneck speed now. A few of the Talon.
Do I recognize any of these? Sorry. I was going to say, do I recognize any of the militia?
Sure. There's some guys that you
Okay.
fought alongside.
I'm sort of torn about it. But how many anthers out there?
There were
Well,
20
about
going
20.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks. I mean,
Jeez.
you can't really count them right now, but I mean, it looks like it's the same retinue of Antha that came in before. You notice the Talons at this point, the two, they are now floating above
Oh,
the Antha.
cool. Scary but cool.
How high?
About 20 feet.
Oh,
Yeah, they got a vantage point there. Good grief. Okay. I'm more concerned about getting Parthalion, so I will attempt to lead him by the arm as fast as possible as he can go back to the house, the main house.
Yeah.
Okay, so work that cane.
speed.
And
I am concerned. I am very concerned here. The gray bearded one here. He's not very good at discretioning. He's very slow, and he will draw attention to us with his slowness.
I can move faster, young Tanu. Let us go. Move.
Is he a pretty big fella? Can he pick him up? Carry him?
Me, Umanak.
Yeah, because
He's
I'm just
tall.
like 5'8".
He's a little over 6 feet tall. He can
Okay.
pick him up.
Yeah, I look at Parthalion.
he does
Can-
count as an
can-
oversized item.
Can he carry you?
Oversized item, yeah.
Are they coming? Are they coming in our direction? The Antha?
They're more or less coming in your direction. And I'll tell you, at this point, one of the Talons actually, and they move with these like the bizarre, like really almost like ritualistic hand movements and
Like
and
Tai
facial
Chi or
movements.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, the Talons themselves. One of them actually points back towards the palace. Some kind of bolt comes out of the hands of the Talon, slams into the side of the palace. You can't really see. I mean, because the palace is quite of a distance away. You can't really see what happened. But you see kind of like a little bit of a puff of smoke. The other one starts, etching like these symbols in the air, and you can see like, Bartholomew, you might be just transfixed because you've never seen anything quite like this. You see just the symbols, happening in the air, and the shimmering circle appears. And the thing has to be about 20 or 30 feet wide, in diameter, and near them.
Bran grabs Parthalion's other arm and says, "Get a move on, grandfather," and basically starts moving away from They're opening a gate to hell. Demons.
Yes, let's move.
Yes. Somebody pick him up. Let's go.
Pick him up.
Grab them by their arm. We'll manhandle them.
He can move if he needs to. I mean, it
No.
hurts.
He better.
He will carry you. He will carry you.
Yeah, pick him up because I'm serious about killing us.
Graybeard. Get on my back.
You realize he's only 60, right? He's not like not.
I know,
I
but
mean, he's
we
got
don't have.
arthritis. I mean, it hurts, but he can move.
Just
We
piggyback.
do not have.
I mean, come on, Todd. I mean, 60 is like ancient, right? I mean, like, you know, I mean, that's.
Many people don't live that long in my tribe. They're
Yeah, just go swine back.
There's no a leave in Mars.
Only wine and figs. Only wine and figs. So as you're trying to beat this hasty, or as you're beating this hasty retreat, perhaps two of you carrying the old man. Is the old man cooperating?
Yeah. I think. I mean, he's interested in what they're doing, but he realizes that this is a big risk.
Yes, transfix later.
Yeah.
The last thing you see, Berthalion, is the two talons themselves kind of vanish right through that disc.
Ah.
And you see like there's like a flash of light. The disc kind of like collapses upon itself and winks out of existence. The Antha, on the other hand, are now galloping through the street. And as you guys are running, and everybody else is kind of running, or you're probably not running that fast, the two of you carrying this guy sort of hobbling around with the old man, they gallop past, and the Antha in the more ornate headdress and what have you, just as pronounced like, "You are fools! There is a pox upon your city. We wash your hands of you. We wash our hands of you."
And Barthalion is muttering under his breath like, "Translocation. They breach the barrier into the etheric realms," and he's blabbering
Quiet,
on.
fool, or they'll translocate your head.
He does talk a lot.
Yeah, as they're leaving, I'm right behind them, kind of pushing. Like, let's go. Let's go. This is crazy. He wasn't joking about wanting to kill us. All right. We get to the door and knock on it.
All right, and you were let right back in by Asper. Bastards,
Okay.
what was all that commotion? I heard there was some disturbance.
The Antha Patrol and two Talons. They went to the palace, and there seems to have been a large commotion. They attacked the palace and smote it with etheric energies, perhaps etheric lightning. Still, they stormed out of the city. Hopefully, they won't be back. One can only hope.
This is terrible. Master said there was strained relations between them and the palace.
Yes.
I wonder if Anansi has finally pissed them off enough.
Yes, they said they washed their hands of the city.
What would we do without their protection?
Well,
Yes.
let's hope Bella keeps watch. Bella is her god, right? There's
It is.
Bella and Anu. What's the other one?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Bella's the good one. So let's hope.
Depends on your perspective, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Thane takes a seat wherever he can find one because he knows that they just obviously took out some of the militia, which he knew some of them. Plus, as the militia goes down, and if they wash their hand of us, I'm worried about the Thark and anything else coming in to, harass the city. But I need money right now. Otherwise, I'll starve before that even happens. So I pull my head up out of the.
You were a hungry thing.
Yes, I've only got 2 silver pieces to last me.
He reaches into his his pouch and he brings out this kind of dried biscuit. Here, try this. Spania.
I'll look at it. Does it?
How does
I
it
smell it first. Yeah, smell
it.
Well, you can see it's kind of crumbly and greenish.
Does it move?
You're pretty sure you can see some insect parts in there too. And
It's
yeah,
all protein, man. It's all
But-
protein.
it's
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, I look at it, smell it. Thank you, my friend. But with all this trouble, I don't think I can eat now. Just maybe later.
yes. You let me know. It's good for you.
Sorry to interrupt with an aside, but on Saturday I met up with a friend of mine who recently went to Colombia. He's Colombian. He brought back giant fried ants. I kid you not. They're like this big. They're a delicacy. I was like, yeah, enjoy. Yeah, no, not for me, thanks.
Compared to
Were they deep fried or?
Apparently, they sell them like in little. They look like little chip bags, you know, but like this big and full of fried ants. Go figure. So anyway,
awesome. Well, yeah, and that's actually pretty good compared to what he just Max pulled out of his pocket. So.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, if you're just hanging out there or like what you're doing, over time, there's various hustle and bustle in the House of Saracens. Even though he's gone, there's still quite a few servants, people that were associated with him before, people that were friends of people like yourself, friends of Asper. People start coming in and out of the estate, and there's more and more talk of the Antha, like that something actually they got in some kind of dispute with the palace. It appears that they didn't really cause that much damage to the palace, but that bolt definitely blew apart a few things, blew a hole in the wall. The Sultan apparently is fine, but there was quite a row. But the city is abuzz with, are we going to be under attack by the Antha? What does it mean? What does them washing their hands of us mean? Their hands of us mean? Will we be left defenseless against Thark patrols? The city's kind of abuzz with speculation.
I'll talk to Asper. I'll say, Asper, are they details exactly what set the Antha off? Did the Sultan fail to meet a payment, or?
There is some speculation that, Saracens, for a long time, they had been demanding more than we were giving them. They demanded tribute. They demanded money. They demanded food. They demanded certain goods, things that they found, human delicacies. But Saracens, he said they were starting to demand slaves. And, Anansi would not go for that. He's a good man.
That's always the case.
But then there were other
always
things.
Want human slaves.
They wanted more. It's perhaps he refused them. I do not know, but I know that for some time, maybe 6 months, maybe more, there has been strain between the Antha and the palace.
These are dark times.
Yes, it doesn't bode well.
Do you think the city would be able to withstand an attack of Thark raiders, or even the Antha themselves? Should they choose to make war against us? They wouldn't do that, would they?
They would.
Unthinkable.
And even worse, they'd bring more Talons with them. What we witnessed today was quite impressive. If they were to send a dozen such beings, I fear to think what would happen. But at least no rumors that they were looking for anything specific, just greater amounts of tributes.
No,
yes, yeah, good. It's just a passing fancy, but never mind. If no more tribute, if it's about tribute, hopefully the Sultan will find a way to deal with it. Thank you, Asper. Keep us informed if anything else should any more news of the incident should come in.
I will, sir. I will.
Well, whatever
muttering to himself,
whatever the Antha do or do not, it's gonna happen tomorrow or the next day. We'll still have to eat. We're still doing this, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, a promise is a promise.
Carry only what you must.
Okay.
And Umanek remains silent. We wonder what's going through his head.
Tumbleweed.
Just watching the eye movements.
Carry what you must.
Now, before we go out on this, Thane wants to go out and kind of take an account of what's going on in the city, where the patrols, the militia, and the watch may be, focusing their attention on, whether it's on the outskirts of the city or are the repairs or control of people or whatever.
Right.
Just to get it to take, because they might be distracted. They got their hands full.
Let's see. I tell you what. Why don't you roll me a d20?
All right.
Roll low.
Favorite thing to roll. 13.
Okay, actually, you managed to do it. You're making an intelligence check. So you actually,
okay.
You're actually able to go over. You use your knowledge of the militia itself to.
Okay.
For 1 second, let's get rid of that. You use your knowledge of the militia itself. You kind of know what their patrols are to begin with. You remember most of what's going on, and you know that you're familiar with the quarter of where Elam's house is.
Yeah.
Watching everything else that's going on, you notice there's a lot more militia focused on defense than there are on actual neighborhood patrols. So it actually looks like this is a pretty advantageous time. There's less likely there's going to be patrols, in that area or just about any area. It seems like there's a lot of more like a city defense going on, as people are speculating that there might be an attack.
That's what Thane was thinking, that's where the focus would have been shifted to in emergency situations like this. So I come back and I want to give that knowledge to them, and I'm a little bit excited that we have an opportunity. It's just opened up a little bit more for us.
Well, that is indeed good news. It seems Bella looks favorably down upon our endeavor.
Indeed.
Travel light, as he said.
Okay.
I am mixing some wine with my banya biscuit to make it into a nice paste.
Okay. I'm going to leave my backpack and shield here, and I've got a regular sword that I'll carry with.
Yeah, Brand's bringing his shield.
Not like a week before we leave.
Yeah, Brand travels pretty light, so he'll bring his shield, but he's gonna replace his sword, his bow and quiver with the rope and grappling hook, so that way he'll be light and still.
Okay.
No bedroll. No ration.
Alrighty.
I'm bringing my sling and bullets too.
Right on. Well then, unless you want to do anything else, time passes, and you end up casing the joint or showing up outside Elam's house. The guards are asleep as promised. There's no sign of the young lady that would have drugged them, but from what you understand from Javed, there's several women of the night that are friendly with these guards that are in his employ, and often they bring these men tea or whatever, or perhaps stronger drink at night. But the promise was that they would drug these men, so you're able to not have any guards in this area. You also notice that, in fact, these street patrols are light, and in general, traffic on the street is kind of light tonight.
Okay. Did we see from the map the most advantageous entryway that we could take to break in?
There's a door that the guards were stationed around, which does look rather heavy. And other than that, there is supposedly a second story that you might be able to get up on if you were able to like get a grappling hook or something up there.
Okay, is this a 2-story building or?
This
or
part of
higher?
it is 2 stories. It actually goes higher, but there is like kind of like a balcony.
And we're on the
part of the
east wing, right?
Right.
Okay. And where he thinks that it's being held is on the second story or below, as far as
He believed it was someplace on the east wing itself. He gave you several possible locations. He wasn't
Okay,
entirely sure.
but the majority of the possible locations upstairs or downstairs, as far as
He really didn't know.
he really didn't know. Okay,
Yeah, that wasn't.
okay. Are there typically in this city hatches that access the roof that we could probably?
That's a common architectural
Feature.
design. So
Yeah,
it
that's what I was
depends on
thinking.
depends on the building itself.
Okay. The surrounding buildings here, are there any of the watch that if we climb up on top that could, maybe catch a view of us? And
That's interesting.
exactly how lit is the environment?
And
I
is
know I know I proclaimed it wasn't, but
yeah, and is the east wing like a solid full building thing, or is it like a Roman villa which may have like an open courtyard or something? Because I kind of get what Dell is thinking, right? Climb up on the roof, make it, then go into the open courtyard or something. If there is one, did he see something like that in the?
It looked like there was a courtyard in the schematic.
well, we've got a rope and a grappling hook. I mean, if we feel safe that we can't be spied, I'm more worried about the moonlight and then how far of advantage the guards that may be walking out a perimeter wall, if that's the case. Trying to just visualize it.
Well, I was thinking, out of character, I was just thinking, if there was a sewer grate there and I was peeing into it, maybe there's another way other than going up over the wall. Maybe we go down into the.
Also, if the guards are asleep, we can just try a door.
Right.
Now,
That was in character.
since I was out of character, since I was part of the little street rats that were running and growing up in there, they would have kind of known the city if there was any maybe any of these channels or aqueducts that wasn't used or some kind of subterranean areas that would lead from building to building, like he's saying. So
Yeah, they would know like the sewers, right? If they're like good sewers to go in, or
There are sewers, there are wells, there's a whole underground, part of the city. It's up to you, like whether you want to attempt to. I mean, you can certainly find a grate without too much fanfare around the area.
okay.
It wouldn't take a rocket scientist to figure out maybe how it connected to the house. If in fact it did, at least you could probably get yourself under the house. You have all kinds of options. It's a matter of what you want to do.
Probably
in general, like I mean, out of character too. In general, go ahead, just start narrating stuff, and worst thing that happens, I'll tell you, there's not a creature you're looking for. So
yeah. I mean, I don't. If we went underground, probably the only access would be the toilet entrance into the sewage.
The last place.
He
Place they would expect us to come from.
it's possible.
Yes.
There's also generally most of the buildings have cellars.
But our
Just,
retching would wake up everybody in the house. So
there's also the matter of the smell. I'd rather
Roll.
be
save versus vomit.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
that's
why
save
don't we-
versus poison.
We could always try the door and get inside the courtyard. That's it. Make our
Yes,
way
if we
inside.
go in the courtyard, we may get trapped. So maybe
I see.
maybe this guard and know what's expect. I mean, he's sitting right here, or he's sitting right here, or laying down. But let's try the door. Let's try to open it silently. See how the lock is. Can anyone? I can attempt to. I do not have any way to pick it. How is the lock or the lever on this door?
I don't know. Go find out.
Behind the guard, I put my hand on the lever and try to turn it and see if it unlocks.
It appears to be locked.
I'll check the guards. The guards are outside, right?
Yes, we can pat the guard down
guards
for
are
maybe
outside.
some kind of key.
Let's see if there's a key.
Let's see. Everybody, give me a search roll.
All right.
That's 1 on a d6.
Yeah. Tell me what you got.
1.
2.
5.
6.
Unbelievably, the wizard
Yes.
finds the right guard. I was going to give you quite a plus modifier. It's like, unbelievably, you're having this long conversation, like 10 minutes of conversation. How the hell you did it? And the probably the sneakiest guy amongst you, even Mr. Koger, goes and tries to lock. Damn, it's locked. And the wizard goes, oh, look, he's got a key around his neck.
It happens.
And you're able to get it off the sleeping guard's neck without too much trouble. I rolled the dice, and the militia did not show up.
Nice.
But at this point, now you have a key. It's possible this key opens this guy's, footlocker, or it could open the door.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Only one way to
All right.
find
I'm
out.
already at the door, so I just I look at you and go,
Yeah. I'll hand you the key. Yeah.
and again, I try to put it in the lock and turn it.
Okay. Let's see. It actually opens the door.
Nice.
But
Good
how
Lord,
quietly?
okay.
How quietly do you open the door?
Oh, wait. I'm naturally
roll me.
paranoid anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
roll
paranoid
me,
from my whole situation.
roll me a d12 and see how quietly you open that door.
Okay.
Does he make
10?
his?
10.
Okay. Yeah, you with a modifier, you don't quite make your stealth roll, even though you're probably the stealthiest man amongst the group.
Yeah.
So roll me a d6. Let's just see how bad that is.
6.
Okay. Well, you open the door. It creaks, and you hear a voice from the darkness. Paul, is that you? What's going on? Everything okay out there?
Yes, just fine. Just fine. Was just checking to see if everything was all right. I thought I heard something inside. It was obviously you moving around.
Paul, you all right? You sound weird.
Just coming down with a cold. I'll leave you be, and I back the door off and try to lock it. I've got to get back to my duties.
Paul, wait, something. And you see a man start to approach, like out of the shadows. And he goes, "Who are you?"
Let's try to grapple him.
All right, initiative.
Now, yeah.
Okay. How are we doing this?
Straight up grapple, you do a d6. If you're not using a weapon or anything like that.
Got my weapon.
If you're using a weapon, that's like, this guy gets a 5. So
Okay. So if I'm using a weapon,
if you're using a melee weapon, you roll a d8.
okay. Fine.
I got a
We're
3.
gonna try that initiative. So you got a what? Got a 3. Okay, you're going first.
I got a 5.
4.
Okay.
All right. So
If we can grab him and gag him.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
So attack must have some free. Wrestling is resolved with a contested roll. Both parties roll d20 and apply both their melee attack bonus.
Yep. Do a contested roll with this guy. See if you can grapple him.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go with Mr. Brand first because he's got the initiative.
Okay.
So I rolled 13 plus 2 for my strength. That's 15 plus my BAB. That's 2 more. That's 17.
He only rolls a 14, so you got him. You knock this guy to the floor.
That's good. I only rolled an 8.
Help me restrain him.
Okay. I'm getting down there too.
No need for initiative at this point. I mean, you pretty much have knocked him out. But, you know, once Brand's tackled on the floor, you're able to do whatever you'd like to this man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a PG-13 channel.
Yeah.
I will.
Can we get some rope? Some rope. Does anybody have any rope?
Yes, sir.
Let's cut me off a piece.
Yeah, so gag him with his own clothes. We can use his belt to tie him.
Yeah.
I'll look at where the guards fell down at the entrance guards. See if there's any more of that wine that they were drinking, or the tea. See if there's any around. It probably, I don't know if the women took it or if they left it behind.
It appears not to be. There are some empty cups around, but
okay, but no, yeah. So there's no residual.
Guys, you know.
Yeah, there's no residual poison for these guys, like sleeping potion for these guys. All right.
Light sources in this room?
In this particular room, there are none. It is rather dark. You can see, though, there's light coming from other areas in the house.
Yeah. I'll whisper to...
It would not be unusual for there to be, like, oil lamps.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to find a closet or something to hide this bastard in.
Yeah.
Time and gag him.
Yeah. That's easy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to creep forward and find one of the old lamps. Is it in this room or out of it?
Outside the room. This room itself is pretty dark. It's like a little foyer area.
I mean, it's an old lamp that we can carry around, right? It's not fixed to something.
I will light. Okay, yeah. While he's doing that, I'll light a candle.
Okay.
Right. No, a lot of them are like, I mean, in the other rooms, it's not unusual for them to be something you could actually take off the wall if you really needed to.
Okay. So
they're not really, I mean, it's a little ungainly. It's not really meant to be carried, but you could do it.
Okay. If he's got candles, then I'll pause before.
I'll light a candle.
And the candle provides a little bit of illumination.
Yeah, but that's good. We don't want to light up the whole place. So I'll say, let us proceed then. And are there many exits out of here? Is there a staircase in this section, or just...
There's actually a staircase going up to the second floor, and the section is also like exits either way, left and right. It looks like it's pretty much just like a standard like sort of foyer. It looks like it doesn't get used a lot, other than for like deliveries for the guards to actually guard the house. It's not the main entrance of the building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not ornate, not very well decorated. It looks like it's more like a functional area.
Okay.
The staircase is going up the center.
Yeah.
Like a single staircase or a grand staircase?
No, it's like a single staircase. It's like to go up to the second floor.
And additional exits on both sides.
Right.
Which way first, Thane? I'll whisper.
Okay. I got my hand out and I'm wanting everybody to be quiet. Let's listen to see if this racket we just made is stirring up anything, or if anybody up on the second floor, if we hear anything for a minute. So I want to pause and listen.
Why don't you everybody roll me a d6? Tell me what you get.
Okay. I get 4.
2. Brand?
That's 1.
A 1. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Brand, you can hear voices coming from the left area. It's very faint, but you hear people talking.
He goes, mimics people talking and points to the left.
Let us go the other way.
Perhaps we set a guard there, or I'll stand there and make sure that y'all can go the other way, and then when you go up that way, I'll follow. right behind. I want to get closer to that area where he's saying the voices are. Maybe I can determine if it's male, female, what it is, and let them get out of the room and make sure that the voices haven't been alerted to us, and then follow them up is my intent.
Okay, so you're telling the other fellows this?
Yeah. Y'all go forward, and I'll be up right behind you. Just make sure that they're not alerted.
So your plan is to scout ahead. Is that the idea? It's like towards the
west? No, I want to stay in the room that we're at. Like he said, there to the left. I want to go to that entry and kind of listen to them and let the other guys. Yeah, you guys go
to the right.
Yeah, go to the right, and I'll make sure that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
And get a little closer listen.
All right. So now that you're actually really tuned into like where these voices are, you can start to hear them a little bit more, and you can hear that you can't quite make out everything, but they are having some kind of discussion. This appears to be at least 2 or 3 men talking, and one of them, every once in a while, one says, "Excellent," and this is exactly. Will they be here soon? They'll be here, of course. We can finish this transaction. And the other man is like, "Shut up. Be quiet."
Okay. I start backing up slowly and to join the rest of the party. And I'm assuming that they're going into the next room.
Into the room to the right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the room to the right, the house itself appears to be once you get out of that main foyer, it seems to be a little bit nicer decorated. You get out of that like more functional area of the home, but it's kind of nondescript. There are some nice pictures on the wall. It's clearly the home of a wealthier person. There are some oil lamps on the wall.
Okay. Do you see any doors going down this hall?
Further down, like near the end of the hall, there actually is a door. There's actually also another, looks like a hatch.
A what?
A hatch in the floor as well.
Oh, a hatch. So at the end of the hall, there's another door. Where's this hatch?
It's about the middle of the floor, kind of along the side of one wall. Yeah. Not in the dead center of the hall, but like kind of like up against the wall.
Right.
Okay, I catch up to Parthali, and then I let him know what I just heard about 3 men saying that they were, preparing for the transaction in hushed tones. They were expecting something soon. Maybe it could have something to do with the relic.
Yes.
Maybe we have to strike now before I have a feeling that it's going to leave this place.
Yes.
I will discretion forward. Here I go. Towards the hatch.
Yes. If they're still planning to carry out a transaction, then it means they haven't done so yet. So the item must still be here. Let us move swiftly. And
yes. There were around 3 of them. Perhaps they know where the item is, and we could get them to tell us directly instead of wandering around in the dark, deeper into this house and further away from the exit. We have 2 strong-bodied young men here to subdue.
Can I open the hatch while he's talking about that?
Go right ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, man.
Oh yeah. All right. So I've gone quietly as I can down the hall and checking out this hatch while they're discussing, and I open it.
Yeah, the hatch opens. It's a little bit heavy, but it's certainly not something you need to roll for.
Okay.
It squeaks a little bit, but not frighteningly loud. And you can hear. You can smell. It's like sort of like a root cellar, wine cellar type thing. You hear the smell. I mean, you smell the smells of like food from down there, and also a bit of musty smell as well.
Okay.
There are like a set, like it's not even stairs. There's like a ladder going down.
And this is not one of the places where we think they're hiding the item. So I'll tell.
Well, he don't have a candle on him, so yeah, I mean he probably can't see that deep.
No.
If we can, I see our man's found a cellar of some sort. Perhaps they have something hid down there, but we should give him a candle and check it out, or else it may be worth a shot. It may be worth a shot.
Well, sure. I'll pick up a second candle and light it and give it to him.
Okay, and I'll go down there and tap him on the shoulder and say, "Here, look further."
Okay. And I go towards the door at the end of the hall.
Oh, you go to
Excellent.
Don't hear down.
What?
Let's look. Yes.
You said
The cellar. The cellar. We need to check the cellar. They could have it down there.
Yes.
Let us know if you find anything.
Yes, I shall. So,
It's about this
holding the
time.
candle in his teeth, and he goes down the ladders.
It's about this time, as he's going down the ladder, that you hear voices coming from the foyer area that you had left, and you can hear the voices of 2 or perhaps 3 men talking. It's like, well, how much longer do you think it's going to be before they show up? And another man's like, be quiet. I told you, this is going to be an excellent transaction. I think you took a great risk bringing that in the house. And they're coming this way. And the voices are getting louder.
Bran puts his hand on his sword hilt and looks at Parthalion and Thane.
Well, Parthalion says, I have means of taking them down. If we incapacitate them, perhaps we can interrogate them quietly.
We'll do it.
Very well.
Okay, I motion toward Bran, and I get to the other side of the door. I motion him to the other side so we can. And I'm like, when they come through, let's grab them.
All right.
Okay. So I know Unak is delving into his cellar. But,
Yeah.
Looking for
In the
figs.
meantime, the delicious smell of figs
Ah,
and wine and prunes and all manner of spices and beer.
That was really bad after this.
oh yeah,
Figs and prunes.
I know.
Things that smell
Right.
so much better than that stuff you carry in your pocket.
But it's an acquired taste, though.
Of course.
Okay, and I'm waiting for Parthalion to get to the side out of the out of the light that they're going to obviously bring in with their.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a candle too,
Yeah.
but he needs to hide it,
I'll
shield it.
snuff it out. I'll snuff it out. That's what I'll do, because they'll bring light when they come in.
How big's the root cellar?
Root cellar is at least at least 40 feet long.
Oh,
You're not quite sure like how big it is, but it's a really giant.
so I can't. Well, I mean, I can't see. It only goes to 10 feet.
Yeah. I mean, it's big.
It's big. All right. So unless I hear anything from up above, I'm just gonna keep looking around.
Right on. So, let's see. These men are getting closer. There is still like gas lamps along the wall. So you hear as they're obviously in the foyer now, just about to go through. It's like, what's the cellar doing open? Paul, Shane, what the devil?
Okay,
And
I'm like this to Bran. Shh. It's going.
those bastards better not be down there helping themselves to more figs. I swear, I'm gonna take it out of their pay. And 3 men walk through the door.
I cast sleep.
You cast sleep. Okay.
Didn't know you had that one.
Let's see. Let me remember what kind of saves they've got here. It's been a while since I've actually. Can you believe that? I can't remember if there's what kind of save there's for sleep. That's
We don't
terrible.
have to roll.
Well, no, he can count. He can count on the cast on the
yes.
targets.
Really? Fantastic.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh, 2d8. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roll 2d8.
Does it have a save? Yeah, because it doesn't seem to indicate that there's like a save. Oh, hang on. Where are my d8s? Here we go. 2d8s. Oh, wow.
How many hit dice?
Yeah. Let's see if we can make this. It's not resolution enough.
No.
I see an 8 and another 8.
Okay. So yeah.
So like the whole
Domination save versus magic.
the tower leans.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see for a second. Okay. Well, 2 of them drop. Boom.
If they start to drop, I want to grab them before they hit the floor
Okay.
to keep from the noise.
Yeah. The third man kind of like goes up against the wall and embraces himself. And says, what the?
All right. Bran draws his sword and tries to put it to the guy's neck.
Nice.
Shut up, or I slit your throat.
Don't kill me, sir.
I'll say Umanak. No,
Umanak
Umanak is not here. I'd say Thane. Start tying the unconscious men. The effect will only last.
Thane's dragging, because I guess 2 of them was coming through abreast to the door. I'm dragging it out of the way to give Brand a little walkthrough to get better access to the third man. Yeah. And then I start taking their belts off and tying them up, and then the other one too.
I approach the one that Bran has with the sword point, and I'll say, "You're a guard in this estate, are you not?"
No, I'm not the guard. I'm a direct advisor to Ilium himself, a guard. I mean, and he looks at you like he realizes he's forgotten himself. You've insulted him greatly, and there's a man, holding a sword to his neck.
I'll say, then, if you wish to live, you can see we mean these men no harm. But we are looking for something, an item that has come into Ilum's possession.
I told him he was an idiot.
We will take it back, or we will be forced to take your life. Tell us where it is, and you get to refuse to cooperate, and this
we'll
big
cut
man
out your
with
tongue.
a big sword will cut off your tongue.
And you will tell no one nothing.
And it's back that way in the main antechamber. Please don't kill me.
Lead us to it.
Of course, I could. Yes.
And if you lie, we'll do as promised.
Bran grabs him by the shoulder and keeps the sword, like.
No.
I light my candle again. Were they carrying torches or something? Because this room was dark. No, nothing.
No,
they just
weren't.
opened the door in the dark. Okay.
Open the door. I mean, the foyer was dark. The hallway still has some light in it. Still has some gas lights.
Okay.
So, I'll relight
I'm
a
going
candle.
to.
Yeah. And I'll whisper down to Umanak in the cellar.
Yeah, is he still eating?
Yeah.
I was going to go down there and get his attention to get him back up after I tied him off.
Where are you? Okay.
Umanak.
How much is Umanak eating?
Well, I'm not eating too much, but I did find these sealed jars of pickled onions that are quite tasty.
Oh.
Right.
But besides that,
Face and
I was trying to search for concealed. I mean, adventure stuff, right? I was trying to find concealed doors and things like that. So while I was down here,
Were you? Interestingly.
Yes.
Interestingly, there are some other doors and exits out of this cellar. There's clearly a cellar proper, but there was another door leading to it looks like a hallway adjacent to the cellar itself. The odd thing is, you can hear something on the other side.
Okay. I must listen.
Listening at the door. I'm presuming at this point, this is about the time that Thane, I believe, is coming down.
Yeah.
The sound you hear on the other side, you hear like kind of like a shuffling. Yep. And only thing besides shuffling is this really bizarre sort of sound. As if
it was, yes.
As if more than one thing was making that particular sound.
Like a chorus of.
Just really bizarre, and it's kind of like a shuffling, maybe of feet. You're not quite sure.
Any light coming from underneath the floor, the door? Sorry.
Say again.
Any light coming from underneath the door?
None whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm approaching Unak right now.
Like past the door, like
You're gonna get to me before I check.
Zulu.
Bless you.
Dane.
Yeah, I noticed that you're listening, and I'll approach you slowly, listening to what you're trying to hear, what you're listening to as well.
Yeah, there's definitely something on the other side of that door.
Okay, I'll look at you and go, "What's that?"
I do not know. Would you like an onion?
I go like that. Oh, keep that breath away.
I put that down. Make sure I've got my sword and my candle. Shall we go through?
It's best not. It's best not. We detained a man upstairs, and he's going to lead us to the item that we came here for. Okay, so we should leave that be.
Very well.
Let us go back up.
Okay. I follow.
Okay. I wait for him to pass me and make sure he's going up.
Man. And I tell you what, Parthalion and Thane, as you come back upstairs, Thane, I want both of you to make a. Let's make this fun. Let's roll your wisdom. Roll under your wisdom, or try.
Who? Everybody
whiz.
Just Thane and Parthalion. Yeah, under.
Thane and Parthalion.
Yeah, people that have lived in the city.
I did it. 5.
Yeah, I
fantastic.
did it too. 13.
Congratulations.
15. Yeah.
All right. You realize that like one of these men that you actually knocked unconscious is Elam. Yeah. You're like, you're like, son of a gun. That's the guy. You've seen this guy around town. He's,
Okay, when I do notice that, and does he have any pockets or any kind of, jewelry or any,
Oh yeah, he's got bling.
Okay. Well, I'm removing the bling from his person.
Okay.
I'll tell Thane blindfold him. He hasn't seen us well, I think.
Oh God, you know what? Eli, roll a D4.
D4.
Yeah.
1.
Okay, well these guys are coming too. They are gagged though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
when he told me to blindfold him, I was looking for a piece of cloth to do just that.
They are blindfolded, yeah, but they're clearly conscious now as you're looting this rich, powerful man.
Bound and gagged.
Okay, I poke him in his eyes real quick.
Oh!
And
in the meantime,
you
Torvald
don't need to see us at all.
This guy that you've gotten, is just like going, he's freaking out as you watch him like freaking poke this guy, in the eye.
Right. Do a curly Joe.
Poke, like, oh God.
Yeah, he don't need to see us. Once I realized who he was, yeah. I need to find some kind of curtain or some, to take a strip off and then, wrap his eyes up. And I tell him, this'll, and I change my voice, this'll help. And I'm putting the blindfold over his eyes. There you go. If he's got a cold, he'll die from being gagged. All right.
That's excellent. Well, we've determined the party's alignment. So anyhow,
Well,
It's lawful.
Yeah, the
you
other-
don't want to get caught. Yeah.
anyhow.
yeah, the other guy's awake too, and he's going to see us. So I blindfold him too.
All right.
And it's dark because he's already snuffed his candle when they dropped their candle. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So
Let's
I'll
see.
be doing it in the dark.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Do you want me to throw them into the root cellar?
That's a good idea, except for our volunteer here.
Yes, that would get him out of the way.
Very well.
In fact, I've got a better idea. Let's take
I'm
him
sorry,
down.
what?
Shh. You know
Why?
what I mean, Brand. You know what I mean, Brand. Let's take him
Oh,
downstairs.
yes.
Oh,
yes,
no.
yes.
We'll take him downstairs, Parthalion.
Well, we take their coin pouches, right?
Oh yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. I know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
Robbing
been
the
lifting all that
house, might
stuff.
as well. Yeah.
This is a robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a robbery. All right.
Yeah, we just escalated from breaking and entering to armed robbery.
We okay, we pick up the bodies and
Toss them down.
or the men or whatever like that. Get them to stand up. I don't have to carry them, and we'll lead them down. Put their hands on the rails, and it's his house. He obviously knows, where you're going.
Oh, blindfolded, tied up.
You're going down. Grab the handhelds.
Well, he's
You're going-
tied, isn't he? He's not restrained.
Yeah, he's restrained.
How unfortunate. He will fall.
You'd have to drop him on the ladder, basically.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a
we'll-
ladder. It's not a staircase.
Oh, so you're helping. You're helping.
yes.
That's right. Yeah, make a strength roll for me, there, would you, Thane?
17.
Okay, so you drop Elam by
Okay.
accident as you're trying to help him down the stairs, and he
All right.
right in his face on the floor of the root
All right.
cellar. That's
Adding
how much damage
Assault
did
and
he take?
battery.
Insult to injury. Yeah.
He's still moving.
At
Okay,
this point,
well-
just shove the other two guys. It's like, no, one guy, and we keep the final person.
Okay, I followed down there and bid Brand to follow me.
I
You know,
can't. I'm
lifted
holding
back
the guy
up.
at.
No, you're
I'm holding the
No,
guy at
not
sword
Brand, Elam.
Oh,
No,
Unamak.
Unak. Yeah,
Umanak.
Umanak.
I am with you.
Umanak.
I
Okay,
am at your side.
Umanak. And we'll lift them back up, and I'm gonna walk them to the end of that root cellar where the door is that we heard the sounds coming from. The Parthalion is still upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Out of sight, out of mind. We take the
Also,
two
by
to
the
the.
way, though, Parthalion, you can hear at this point the sound of more booted feet coming from that same foyer area.
Oh my god.
We're wasting too much time. Keep quiet.
More booted feet. That means, are they walking or? Well, do I
Walking.
hear it?
Oh, no, you're downstairs.
Okay, but
Whatever's
I'm in the
upstairs
root
is
cellar.
right.
Do I? Okay,
So Ram
I
tells the
don't.
guy,
So I'm.
shut up if you want to live. Graybeard, get them up here. We need to move.
Okay, am I at that door yet? When all this is going down, where we
Yeah,
heard the sounds
Down
coming
the
from.
door. So let's see. We'll go upstairs. You hear a man's voice going, "Elam, where are you? I thought we were wanted."
Okay,
And
Right when this-
Horvath is just going looking at Bran, like with this terrified look in his eyes, looking at Bran, looking at Bartholomew, like, what do I do? And in the meantime, so now you're downstairs in the root cellar.
yeah. Is it? It's a door to where on the other side we hear these sounds,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you hear those. I still hear some of those sounds. Yep.
Okay, we got the two of them right beside us.
Yeah.
And I look at Bran.
No.
Shall we put them
No,
in?
no. You look at Umanak.
Umanak. Sorry, I got you guys.
You guys
flipped.
like things on your
Umanak.
foreheads.
You need one of you needs an eye patch, and the other one a peg leg or something. Tell y'all apart. But I look at Umanak. Shall we? Is there an access to where we can pull the door open?
Oh, you can open the door, yeah.
Okay.
Does it open
like-
in or push in?
Okay, I open the door and I'm ready to push him in. And I open the door and say, "Get in there, you'll be safe for a while." And then I'm grabbing the other guy, pushing him too, and I'm shutting that door.
Okay, so you push the first man in the door.
Yeah, which I had. Yeah.
All right. And you hear a thud. But it's not like a thud of a guy falling on the ground. It's like a guy hitting something else.
Oh.
And then you hear
Okay.
him fall on the ground. And then two figures appear in the door. They're man-sized, hooded, cloaked, but they just move a little oddly, like something's wrong.
Okay.
Kind of shambling.
My whole intent was to shove them through one after the other and shut it. And if,
Oh, I
if
know
they
what your
block
intent
me,
was. I know what your intent was. I'm just telling you.
but
You got one guy
the
through.
second part of that is to run up and then shut that hatch.
Right.
So I'm scrambling to the ladder to shut the hatch.
Right. You've gotten one guy in. The other guy is, I'm not sure if Umanak's holding him. Our second guy.
I'm holding the second one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Elam's like in this hallway. Has been
All right.
battered around quite a bit by this former city guard.
And so there's these two hooded figures
Two hooded figures.
shambling towards us.
And they kind of have this the same thing. They're kind of making that sound like this.
I will shove this other person towards them too.
Oh, go right ahead. Yeah, excellent.
Yes, and then close the door if I can.
You shove it towards them, and they catch them with their hands.
Uh-huh.
And then, can you close the door? Make an opposed D20 check.
I want to try to close the door with him. Push it shut.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Both give me some D20 rolls. Add your attack bonus and your dex and your strength to it. Give me a whirl here.
Everything, eh?
15 total.
Yeah, 8.
Okay, actually, no. You're able to close this door on these two figures as the other man falls, but they're pushing back on it.
All right, we feverishly lock the door and then
There's no lock.
back out.
There's no lock.
Oh,
There's no lock.
fantastic.
You're holding the door, pushing on it. They're pushing back on it. Right.
Is there anything like shelves or anything that we can overturn to create a block? I mean, I'm sure he's
If you
pulling
let
the
go of the
pickled
door, sure.
onions. Well, there's two of us. I rolled a 15.
I will not let go of the door.
Barrels
door.
or something.
One of you'll have to hold the door.
I will hold the door.
Okay.
Grab something.
All right. Yeah, and I'm trying to turn, put something blockade inside of the
Okay.
door. How? I mean, I don't know how long these shelves are, but enough to where I can, lay it down in front of the door, and maybe in the hallway and cross it. You see what I'm saying? Like the
I
blockade
know.
of the door.
I get what you're going with that. But let's go upstairs for a
Okay.
second.
All right.
Let's go upstairs for a second. No, you're good. So we're gonna leave our two intrepid men.
Sadistic.
Like a Three Stooges move at this exact moment. Hold the door. So in the meantime, upstairs now you have this man calling for Elam. Wondering what's going on.
Is that a single voice? Did I hear?
You hear a single voice, but you hear probably like 3 or 4 sets of boots.
One more guys. Oh, jeez. And there's.
So it's you, Miss Parthelion, it's Bran, and this prisoner Torvath.
I'll whisper to the prisoner. I'll say, tell them that Ilum has gone upstairs.
And he goes, everything is fine. Elam's gone upstairs. It's all right. And let's see, how does that work?
There's a weapons malfunction. We're all fine here. How are you?
Nothing to say.
And Torvath, is everything all right? Yes, everything's fine. Elam went upstairs. He actually needs some help up there. Really, that's odd. Okay. And you hear them start to walk away. Like, I mean, and due to an incredible die roll, these men have, and Torvis looks like there's going to be another patrol around soon.
Let's
We'll
go.
never get away with this.
Should move.
Let's go.
Yes.
Move.
Yes.
You know, and Bran tells we have to get that gem and get out of here now. This is
Yes.
foolishness.
Yes. Well, let's get the gem. We'll come back for them.
So abandoning your friends,
Yes.
you follow Torva. You wait for the sounds of the booted feet to go up the stairs in that foyer.
Yes.
Looking for Elam. How long will it take them to realize he's not there? I don't know. However, in the meantime, you're now following this man. But let's go back down to our heroes in the basement.
Oh, we're heroes now.
We're here now.
Just in his eyes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a very thin
I was
line
gonna
between
have
hero and fool. Let's see if
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
roll
yeah.
high enough to keep it at the hero level.
It makes these guys sound heroic. So
Yeah,
tell you
save
what,
versus fool.
yeah.
Save versus fool. Yeah.
Almanak, go ahead. Almanak, go ahead and roll a d20. Add the +1 to it for your strength because you're now going to try to hold this door closed.
5, 6.
Okay.
I'm rolling like I did on last week.
I know that's what I was thinking. We're not playing Blood and Bone.
In the meantime, I'll tell you what. I want Thane to roll. Just roll your strength. Roll low. Try to roll under your strength because these shelves are really freaking heavy.
Okay.
They're big, like heavy, like they're not. It's not old, but they're heavy wooden shelves, you know, with lots of goods on them. And there's some that are really close and adjacent to the store, but you know, it's a lot of weight.
17.
So you've actually you're grunting and pushing on the shelf. And I mean, some jars are falling off of it. A jar of pickles smashes at your feet. The real pungent smell. In the meantime, the door is like kind of shaking and pushing open. You can see like arms, like 1, 2, 3, 4, coming out of this door. And some of them, like even though these figures were hood and cloaked, the hands that are now protruding out of these sleeves are all wrong. Just
All
wrong.
Are they
They certainly don't look human. They're just like, you know, they just like kind of have like not enough fingers, and the fingers kind of end in just wrong, like
I'm
kind of
taking
like sort of nails.
Well, I want to take at that point in time. I take my sword and try to hack alongside of the door, as long as he's not in the way. You know what I'm saying? As long as Unak.
Right on.
Okay.
I say roll to hit. Yeah, go ahead. Give me a nice hit roll.
14.
Roll damage.
Nice.
All right.
Roll me some damage.
Now the damage on this is with a normal sword. What is that?
A
About
D8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 5. And is it +1 for strength or no?
Yeah. I'm being magnanimous and give the strength modifier. Yeah.
Okay, that would be 6 total.
6 total. You cut one of the hands off.
Gee whiz.
There's a spurt of blood, which is the wrong color.
Okay.
Kind of greenish blood. You hear like what can only be described as an inhuman shriek.
Okay. Are the others? How many arms were there sticking out?
Man, at least 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Oh, jeez.
There was only 2 of them.
The door is shaking.
I don't know how much longer we can hold this.
Okay. Shall we leave through the hatch? Shut the hatch.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Run!
Run!
Run away!
Okay, so as you run, I tell you what, Umanek, I need you to roll me a save versus paralysis.
Okay.
Give yourself a +4. Give yourself a good bonus.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, good.
Yes.
You stumble as you let go of the door, because as soon as you let go of the door, like it just pops open, and there are like at least 7 or 8 of these figures.
Oh my god!
Shambling towards you, kind of, you know, they're in hoods and cloaks, and they're kind of shambling, but they're starting like one of them has already torn one off, and they're just giant eyes on these humanoid creatures, the crests on their head. You know, these are the things that would keep you up at night when you were a small child, as your parents threatened you. If you don't behave, the Slee Stack will get you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm halfway up the ladder. and when I get up, I'm going to be reaching down for him to help pull him up, you know, quicker.
I'm not climbing. I'm jumping. I'm jumping straight. Your hand.
All righty. So because it's narratively cool, you get up the ladder. But there are, you know,
pull him and shut that. Yeah.
You're not sure, but just from the sounds of it, there were more than 8. I mean, they just kept on pouring out.
Oh,
good grief! All right.
Is
there a latch on this?
Yeah.
There doesn't appear to be a latch on that. There is a ladder. The ladder's not really connected to anything. There are already a couple of them grabbing this ladder and trying to get up. What do you do?
Kicking down the top. Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Chopping it with the sword. Yeah. The ladder, doing everything I can to unhinge it. Is it?
Oh, is it a rope ladder? Is it? It's
No, it's a wooden ladder.
Okay.
No, I just want to chop
leaning up against the wall.
Yeah,
chop the handholds. It's not metal, is it? It's wood.
They can't climb.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, is it when I was climbing down? Is it movable or is it?
Yeah, it's movable. It's not attached to anything.
Oh, well, pull that sucker up. Yeah, pull it up.
Are you gonna pull it up? Okay. Well, give me. Let's see. Both of you guys, give me. Man, give me a strength roll. Roll below your strength. Both of you go ahead and do that.
I rolled 20.
1.
You roll. Okay, excellent. 1 is good.
Yeah.
1 is good. 20 is not.
Yeah.
So amazingly, Almanac is like trying to pull the ladder, and something must have happened. Somehow you slipped. Maybe it was the pickled onion juice still on your hands,
dribbling off his chin.
It could be the sweat. It could be the sweat of fear. But like the ladder kind of like just gets out of your grasp for a second. You kind of like get like slam down the floor. You don't take any damage, but in the meantime, though, you know, sometimes in moments of absolute stress and terror,
adrenaline, baby,
and sometimes you're like, as the guy said in the movie, sometimes you're capable of superhuman strength.
Yeah.
And so you pull up this ladder. You know, you're pulling up all the way. However, let's see. One of these creatures is holding on to it and not letting it go.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
And in their superhuman strength, they're actually picking this entire thing up, like through the hatchway. Now you've got most of the ladder up. You've got this creature holding on to it.
And you pull.
How big is the hatchway? It's not going to knock him off.
No, he's coming right through the hatchway. It's like amazing. You're picking this whole thing up. So his body's about halfway through the hatchway, and he's looking at you and is just bearing these like impossible-looking fangs. And with just these eyes, just seem to take up his entire head. It's like something out of a nightmare. You've never actually seen one of these. These are just things that your parents would have scared you to death with. And you're looking one right in the face. He's got like 20 of his friends like just below him.
All right,
I'm on the ground. Can I kick it? Boot to the head.
Yeah, because I just threw the ladder like that and let it hit, and then I'm going to be hacking it and shutting the hatch.
So you're pulling the entire creature out with a ladder. That's awesome.
Yeah, throwing it down like that.
Boom! All right.
So none of them can follow.
And
I'm taking my sword and hatching like that because if he hits the ground, I have
Go
that
ahead.
sword ready.
Roll to hit on this creature. It's now on the ground. We'll give you a free attempt.
5 plus 3.
Does not work. He rolls out of the way. In the meantime, who's closing
the ladder up
beside
beside him?
Open?
But yeah, I'm on the ground though, so I'm gonna try and kick it closed.
Okay, you're able to kick it closed.
All right.
You can hear quite a clamor underneath there, but there is no ladder anymore because the ladder's been taken up. But you now have this creature jumping to its feet, And I think we'll roll initiative.
Man, I should have listened to as soon as Ivan said slee stacks, I should have gone back and listened to some old clips because he made the exact noise that the slee stacks used to make.
Yeah. In the meantime,
it was accurate.
But let's now this like because tense situation is still only slightly tense.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are we adding our dexterity bonus to initiative checks?
No.
Okay. All right.
Our slee stack friend has a 3.
Are we just rolling 6, or how are we doing that?
If you've got a melee weapon, then you're rolling an 8. If you're using a missile weapon, you're rolling a 4. And if you're rolling casting a spell, you're rolling a 12. Anything else you're trying to do, like if you're unarmed, you're rolling a D6.
Gotcha.
But dexterity modifiers do not add to that?
They do not.
No, it's just straight.
Oh, okay.
2
Just for missile?
right, on a D8.
Okay. And Umanak?
4.
4. Okay. All right. Then it's gonna go. It's gonna go Thane and then Sleestack and then Umanak. However, in the meantime,
Okay.
Out of the hole.
Parthalion and Bran are now following Tarvath as Tarvath is frantically going, bringing you to this other room.
Uh-huh.
And in the room itself, you see like on like a desk is an object that's covered over with like a vellum, like sort of cloth, black cloth. He said, "It's there. That's it. That's it. You promised not to kill me."
Yes.
Check it out.
So I'll go there and I'll pull the cloth off.
Right. And it's this object like I described before. It's about that kind of like book size. It's made of like some bizarre greenish metal. There are projections, out of all what I'm trying to describe. It's like almost like a porcupine because they're only coming out of like one side, but just like little things about maybe like finger length long. Some longer, some shorter, various different colors. Some in like these curious shapes, but just mostly cylindrical. Some of them tapering at the end. Some of them having like various it like almost bifurcates into like several different like endings. But it does have this kind of crystal in the middle of it, and rather large,
All right.
kind of pear-sized.
Okay. So I'll try to grab it and put it in a large sack that I not in the large sack, in the backpack that I emptied.
That's that Bran will unless the guy resists, he will restrain and gag him.
Right. And the guy, Tarvath resists a little bit, but just more like out of the indignity of it. He's not really fighting you. It seems like he's pretty scared of you.
All right.
The object is incredibly heavy.
Oh, it's super heavy.
It's got to be something like 40 pounds. Putting it in your backpack, you can do it, but it's going to be very uncomfortable.
I
Carrying this
understood
thing.
it's like 20 pounds, but it seems to be a lot. So it counts like a whole.
I would call it oversized. It's you can carry it. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable.
Takes 2 hands to
Okay, but if I put it in the backpack, it takes what, a whole slot?
Yeah, I would take a whole slot encumbrance-wise with that. It's just very, very heavy. Interestingly enough,
4, 5.
there's another door in that room, and as you're putting it in the backpack, the door opens, and at least a couple hooded figures start shambling.
Oh,
No.
One of them is in like a very decorated hood, and is carrying this globe. And the globe is like just like black obsidian, and from even though like out of the mouths, or presumably mouths, the heads of these creatures, you just hear that kind of hissing sound. The globe itself, in this sort of disembodied voice, says, "We have come to fulfill our part of the agreement."
Oh, the slee stacks are coming for the item. Jesus.
He said it again.
Initiative.
Oh, jeez.
Of course, 12. Here it is. 3. Yay!
You roll a 3. All right. Well, let's see.
And you said
In this case,
missile weapons.
you want the lower numbers, right?
Yeah, you want the lower numbers.
Yeah.
3 is good.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Alright.
a 1.
Okay, oh, you got a 1. All right, and our sleeve stack is actually on a 6. You're it's not official surprise, but you're definitely going to be able to act before them.
Yeah, and it's
In the
2
meantime-
sleeve stacks
There's 2 sleeve stack so far
with us.
walking
Yeah.
through that door.
All right.
In the meantime, going back to our other brave heroes, our sleeve stack has rolled on the floor. You've tried to attack him once, but Thane actually has the initiative. The sleeve stack has jumped up to his feet.
Jeez. Okay, we take I got a 7, 2, 3. It's strength and then attack, right?
Yeah, strength and attack. Yeah, that would be a 10.
Okay.
That is a miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Nimbly, the sleeve stack jumps out of your way,
Jeez.
and then but I tell you, you rolled really well on those strength checks before. You know, when you were rolling too high. Amazingly, the sleeve stack only rolls a 2, and ineffectually tries to claw you.
Yeah.
And Umanak.
Umanak brings out his sword and slashes at it. 14.
With a 14, and a 14 will hit.
Nice.
Ooh, 6 points damage.
Ooh, 6 points of damage. Excellent. The sleeve stack reels, and let us roll initiative one more time, gentlemen.
7.
2 out of 1. The sleeve stack is very mad. Spins around the Umanak and attempts to hit him. With a mighty 7, he misses the fighter. Perhaps it's the pain of his wound
Yes.
that has stopped him.
All right. I will take the opening from his swiping arms and thrust towards him with my sword, and I get an 18.
18, that hits.
And 8 points damage.
8 points of
Nice.
damage. Damn.
Yeah, good.
You have yourself 1 dead sleeve stack.
Excellent.
Killed in the manner of your choosing.
Oh, I run it through. When it swiped at me, it left itself open, and I just
Shiska Bob.
And it twitches with that same wrong color blood. It sort of twitches and slumps to the ground. In the
Yes,
meantime,
Udak.
in the meantime, you can hear what could only be described as heavy items being slid across the floor of the root cellar, and perhaps being stacked one on top of the other.
Is there any latch? You said no latch, right?
Nothing. There's a
Hey,
ring.
I'll look around frantically for any heavy item that we may place over this hatch in the room. You said it was
the sleeve stack's
furnished.
body. Put the sleeve stack's body over top of it. Now.
Okay, well I'll kick it over, but I'm looking for some kind of main furniture.
Uh-huh.
Look, Unak. What do I see? It's dark in here, right? Though, but from memory, do I see any kind of
Oh no, there's still like
chest of drawers or you know?
Just-
There's nothing. It's a hallway, and you still have the oil lamps there. So
We must find the others. We must flee. There are more than
Okay. All right. I reluctantly flee. Do we hear anything else or them? How far away are they?
well,
The other guys.
They're ways away. You're not quite sure.
I'm
exactly
looking
where
for
they are.
light sources. I'm looking for where they may have went, you know, as far as where I expected them to go. And
Right.
heading in that direction.
Where did they go?
You're not quite sure. You were downstairs.
Oh.
Okay, we'll run back
You
into the
split
foyer.
The party.
Mhm.
Big no. Yeah.
But running back into the foyer,
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm looking
Which way
around
they
for any
go?
lights and listening. Which let's listen.
well,
Okay.
let's listen. As you listen, initiative has been rolled. Let's see who was first. I believe it was.
I was.
Okay, that's right. Go ahead there.
So Bran, hoping to distract them, he says to Greybeard, "Run, Greybeard!" Draws his knife and tosses it at the black orb.
Okay, go ahead. Roll the hit.
Oh, man.
So that's +3. That's a 16.
That's a 16. Okay. It clangs off this black orb with this like frighteningly loud gong sound.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to have actually done anything to the orb itself.
But now Thane heard us.
But now everybody in the house did.
Yes, and in fact, then you hear this dong, like incredible.
Okay.
Sound.
Okay, I grab Unak's arm and say, "This way." And
Also,
run
what you hear,
toward it.
almost like a split second after that dong sound, was the sound of like several booted feet running upstairs. And they appear to be running towards in the direction of the staircase that leads down into this room, into the foyer.
Well, maybe they're coming back now.
Almost as if they're trying to investigate. So let's see. Wait, but
I'm gonna run. Can I get underneath the stairs, like the people under the stairs, for a minute and let them come down?
No, they're stone stairs.
They're still
What's Parthalion gonna do?
Yeah, what is Parthalion going to do?
Is
Holding this heavy object, trying to put in this backpack.
Yeah, one question. Is the object inside the backpack already or no?
Let's see. Why don't you roll me a d6? Odds it is. Evens it wasn't quite there yet.
4.
Okay, so it's not quite there.
Okay.
You're really got this 40-pound object. You're trying to put in this backpack. These things show up to the door. You're being told to run. There's this big dong, I'm trying to.
You know what? I'm gonna take my action to just get it in the backpack and try to shoulder the backpack if I can. Would that be like one? Could that be my whole action?
You can get it in. You can get it in. I don't think that you can bring it able to shoulder it. You're probably just gonna have to hold the backpack.
Okay.
It's pretty heavy. I mean, you got like a 40-pound object that you're gonna try to like. I mean, you could do that next round maybe.
Yeah, I gotta settle for that. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Arthritis all in his fingers too.
All right. So in the meantime, you got the one sleeve stack holding the orb that's just a little bit stunned. The other one attempts to tackle Parthalion
Oh.
and to grab the orb.
Okay.
Swiftly. You do not need to roll an opposed roll.
Yes.
It completely misses you.
Oh, thank
Like a
God.
bullfighter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me just roll this 6 and see what. Okay, it did not come up 1. He does not fumble, but he certainly missed it.
Nice.
But like a bullfighter, now you have a sleeve stack behind you.
Yeah.
You've parried completely as you've just kind of pivoted, parried, and it ran past you momentarily.
Nice. So who's next?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's roll initiative again for the three of you. I say everybody roll initiative.
Everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody roll initiative.
7.
7.
Yeah.
You keep rolling high, man.
Yeah.
4 and 3. All right. Sleeve stacker on 3. What is Parthalion on?
Thinking about my action because I need to decide what I'm going to do before I roll.
What number are you on? Did you roll initiative? Or you're not sure what you're going to do? I got you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I got 2 sleeve stacks with me, and I hear the commotion of everything else going down. I got 2 options here. I'm trying to decide which one to do. Well, might as well go for the stupid option, and I'm going to try and shoulder the pack. So I go on 5.
You're not going to cast time stop?
That's not the one I got. I wish I had because it sounds like a good time. But no, I only had shape change. But
useless.
Change it to a sleeve stack.
That's not bad. No, I'll try. Yeah, I roll a 5, so I'm on 5.
Okay, yeah. All right. So in the meantime, okay, it's sleeve stacker on 3. So is Bran. Good guys will go first, so go ahead. I'll be nice.
All right. So, question: is the sleeve stack that our Toreador dodge between us and the door?
You've got one that's between you and the door that opened where they came from. You've got another one that ran past Parthalion, and he's kind of between you and the door now.
Right. So,
So you're kind of in between the two of them.
All right. So I guess.
Also, just for a point of information, you can't hear booted feet upstairs. You can also hear what sounds like might be more sleeve stack coming in from where the other ones came out of.
Right. So Bran thinks that the best plan is to get the hell out of here.
Sounds like a plan.
He's a freaking genius.
So it's the instinct of the wild. So he moves towards the door and he tries to like make a room for Parthalion to run. So he's gonna attack the guy who's on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. He moves.
Roll him over.
And I rolled a 12 plus 4. That's 16.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right. Come on, sword. Don't fail me now. Ooh, that's 9 hits.
9 points of
Nice.
damage. Yeah, you have 1 dead sleeve stack.
He runs at the guy and just cleaves him right at the neck and into the chest.
All right.
Nice.
Like a
And the
machete.
head doesn't quite go off, but there is that satisfying coconut-like sound as the head hits the floor, with the rest of the body.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Right. That's excellent. Okay, well, it's the sleeve stack's turn now. At this point,
Yeah.
two things happen. One, Umanak and Thane can hear this big crash, as if it's coming from the hallway, and you can hear that kind of sound that maybe a trapdoor would make if it's being pushed open really fast and slamming against the floor.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Lifting and going back. Yeah.
That's, okay. However, the other thing that happens is the sleeve stack holding the orb makes a sound. It's a much different sound. A couple other, not the usual hissing sound. And the orb itself says, "Is this treachery? We had an agreement." And a couple other sleeve stack are coming through the door at this point. They're not quite able to engage you.
Yeah. All humans look the same, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's speciesist. Let's go.
All right.
And he also says, "We have brought what you asked for," and holds up this pouch.
Oh, interesting. But you already killed a sleeve stack, so.
Apparently, getting this thing is more important than the life of his buddy, but
Yeah.
you got the thing in your hands, man. Bran's acting on instinct, right? He wants to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
The heck out.
Roll.
Okay.
Just
It's
roll.
a bad situation.
Yeah.
Just toss a coin.
It's in my turn? Who's
Yeah.
turn is it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Thane is on a 7 again, so poor bastard. So
yeah, I'll shoulder the pack and start running for the door. Not the smartest course of action, but
okay,
it's what we set out to do.
right. All right, and now Thane, what are your?
Okay. Well, has the I just heard the latch open up. The boots starting to come toward the stairs, correct?
Yeah.
So I
You're
can hear that.
certain that they'd probably be opening the door for those stairs relatively soon, like within the next few seconds.
Where they're at, how far away are they? Can I see, like when he hit the sleeve stack, is that like a room right off of us, right off the foyer?
Actually, you can see in a hallway. It's not a super long hallway. You can see a door burst open, and it's not a lit hallway. And there's a Parthalion running as fast as an old man can run.
Okay.
Go.
I run straight to him, almost like a baton, like he's going to pass a baton to me, and then I can see him carrying that thing, so I'm wanting to help him. He's got what he's got. So I'm gonna run in his direction, and I'm gonna say, Unak,
Okay.
open the door, like the door, because the door in the foyer, that's where we entered, right?
Right. That's the door to the street.
Yeah,
I
door
am
to the
so
street.
glad you made that straight from the list. Yes. All right. I opened the door to the street.
Okay. You open the door to the street. We're going to stop for 1 second here. There is an initiative, and I want to respect initiative. However, this is what happens all at once. Ubanak opens the door to the street. The street is relatively empty, except for a few passing militia guards. It seems like they just happen to be there at just that time.
Yeah.
The second thing that happens is the door to the stairs opens up, and a bunch of house guards come pouring down. They start to yell at Umanak, like, "Who are you?" but are instantly stopped because they see a mass of Sleestack running in from the other hallway. The shouts of the militia, the guards, and the hissing of the Sleestack are unbelievable. Umanak, I'm not gonna tell you what your character thinks at this exact moment, but you have three groups converging on you all at once.
You're the
Anyhow,
Nexus
let's go
point.
back. Let's go back to it. Let's just leave him there for a second. Well, actually, let's roll initiative again because I think everybody's
Just
kind of
dangling there, yeah.
Everybody can kind of roll initiative, and once again, if you're trying to do something besides attack anything, you just roll a d6 and tell me where you're at. But.
Okay, so question. The three groups. Does this mean that the street is blocked? Like, is our way out blocked?
There are only like 3 or 4 like actual city guards that way. However, you're in the hallway, that you went down. We'll call it the left hallway for lack of a better. However, so you're running that way, trying to run out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Thane is running towards you.
Okay.
The foyer, I can tell you, is starting to fill up with people that you don't want to be around.
Yeah.
Of various descriptions.
Are there windows?
There
Like
are.
big windows that we could crash and jump out of?
There are some windows. They're the kind of windows that are sort of like decorative and have like all that kind of lead in there. Like you'd really have to really smash through them pretty severely to get through the window. But you could possibly do that.
Okay. Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast a spell. So, because we need a little bit more chaos. This scene is too controlled.
What, you're holding the bag?
No, I put the backpack on. Did I put the backpack on?
Yeah, he shouldered it.
You put it on. How encumbered are you right now?
Okay.
Excuse me?
How encumbered are you right now?
I'm still at 1 because I emptied my pockets. All I have
The oversized item, and that's it?
The oversized item is 5, counts like as 5 items. Right?
Okay, so you're not quite there yet. All right, so you don't take that penalty.
3, 4, 5. No.
Okay.
No. I'll take other penalties, but not that one.
All right.
So I roll initiative. Here we go.
Yeah, you're gonna roll 12 now for initiative.
4.
Okay. And everybody else got roll initiative with it.
2.
8.
All right. Well, the bad guys roll a 1, or we'll call them the other people. That's really, they're kind of all the bad guys.
The NPCs.
All right, the NPCs. A brawl starts to break out between Sleestack, house guards. Some house guards are trying to flee outside the door once they see these creatures. The militia are running in. One guy runs back out and starts calling for more militia. He blows a whistle. That's like the signal, that there's a serious problem going on. They all seem to ignore Umanak at that one moment because it's just absolute cacophony.
Yes.
So for 1 round, because I am magnanimous and a fan of the players, you have a chance to do something. After that, the gloves are off.
Okay. And I just scream, "Sleestacks!" and I run out of the building.
Exactly.
You're running where?
Out of the building.
Oh, at the main door. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a dexterity check to see if you can get by all these guys.
Yep. Rolling under my dex.
Yeah.
Oh, I just missed. I rolled 14. I have a 13 dex.
Okay. Because I'm magnanimous, you had 1 round. So now you're trying to get through. There's guys trying to go in. There's guys trying to go out.
Yeah.
You're kind of caught in this massive humanity. What's everybody else doing? Who's next in the initiative order?
I rolled a 2, so I think it's me.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're...
So Bran,
because that was narratively funny.
yeah, no, that's awesome. So, Bran runs out, right? He runs after Portalion, and if he when he sees that, you let me know if I can still do this run. When he sees that there's the crowd on their way out, and he'll like try to hurl himself through the window to open up a way.
Nice.
I think that probably work pretty. I tell you what. Man, let's see.
You get a running start.
He's got a running start. Let me see if you really need to roll anything to do that or not. You know what? Roll 2d6 and tell me what you get.
All right.
How big of a boy are you?
He's about 6'3", 210 pounds, something like that. And I rolled a total of 8.
You roll an 8.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing this like I'm pulling a mechanic out of my ass because I like different mechanics. So you actually get a great running start. You smash right through the window. That's cool. Right. Your foot catches on like the wall itself. So instead of like gracefully like you're probably hoping to like smash at the window and tumble on the ground and instead your foot catches on that, so you kind of like go slam. You like take a hit point of damage as your face kind of whacks against the building. So you're kind of like half in and half out. You have broken the window. Your legs are sort of still kicking, so you kind of look like Rabbit and Winnie the Pooh or like Pooh, like when he gets stuck in Rabbit's hole doorway, But it's not because you're too fat. It's just because you didn't quite make it out.
So he's
but you have an open window. You can certainly, without penalty, you can get out the next round. Somebody could climb out over you if they'd like to, whatever. But that's what's happened.
Good. So that was 2. Who goes on 3? No one?
3, 4.
4 here. Yeah. Okay.
I rolled 8.
Jeez, you roll really high for initiative, man.
Yeah,
I hate D8s.
Parthalion says, I say, I have the item. Save yourselves. Do not worry about me. And I cast a spell. I am going to cast invisibility. And that takes up my last 2 points. I don't know how this works. This is a 2nd level spell, which I do not have memorized. But I have 2 free slots so far. Right. So can I burn those? How does this work? Can I burn the slots for? Yeah, you can use those points to cast a spell. Which you are going to take. You are going to have to make a saving throw, and you're going to have to make a saving throw at like -1 because you're trying to cast a spell that's higher than you can actually really cast. You're also I'm trying to think if there's any other. Yeah, but the use of the 2 slots, does that give me any bonuses?
Not really, no, because it's just it's a spell you haven't memorized. You can't memorize because it's 2nd level.
Okay, no, yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering if the use of that helps me in any way. Okay, so I have to roll a 13, and that is an 11. So I do not roll a 13.
Okay, roll me a d6.
That is a 1.
That is a 1. That's not quite so bad.
So I'm attempting to cast invisibility.
You're attempting to cast on yourself. Okay, you're attempting to cast invisibility on yourself. Let's see what actually happens. Forgive me. I'm just going to kind of take a look, here and see if there's anything that. So your failure or your.
By the way, I love the flavorful description of the spell in Lamentations. I'd never read it that way.
What was that? What does it actually say?
It says you frighten the light of the world, causing it to avoid the subject of the spell. And so everything you become invisible. But if you take aggressive action, offensive action, attack someone, trip someone, use force, this enrages the word's light, so it attempts to attack the subject, resulting in the invisibility being dispelled just after the violent deed is performed, which is a great explanation for the hokey effect that you become visible when you attack, which is it's fantastic. It's brilliant.
Okay, you go invisible.
Okay. Cool.
All right. And now on
And
7.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
5 goes after me, right?
all right.
5, 6,
Nobody's
7.
on 5. Nobody's yeah.
Okay.
so it's Thane's turn at 8.
Yeah.
Now I was half running down there, ready to grab to pick
Right.
up, and
Poof.
right before he gets to me, he disappears. I kind of stumble and blink my eyes. Do I can I almost feel his presence or hear him, or you know what I mean? You announce, don't worry about you.
Yeah. Worry about me. I've got it. Save yourself. Yeah.
So I don't know if he just flat teleported or what's going on.
No, you have no idea.
Like we witnessed earlier. Okay, I would honestly hesitate for a minute and then turn around and run back down the hall. And when I come back in there, if I see the window burst out and it's crowded, I'm going to try to dive out the window.
Well, yeah. So what you can actually see is that all this happens is you see Parthenia just kind of wink out of existence. You can see already Bran has kind of like jumped through the window, so it's in the hallway that you're at. His legs are kind of kicking. There's clearly enough room for another person to scramble over him or push him through or whatever else.
Oh, he's in the hallway that happened.
He's got a. There are more sleeve stack coming out the door of the way that Bran just ran out, including one dressed in a rather ornate fashion. But like, there's at least 2 or 3 more after them. These are actually carrying weapons, and they pulled out some like odd looking like knives.
Okay, well, that gives me more incentive to dive out that window.
Yeah, and then behind you, of course, is the foyer where there appears to be quite a battle going on. Where
Good.
And you're sure
I'll yell sleeve stack when I jump out. Yeah. So am I good to get out, or do I need to roll anything?
Give me a dexterity check as you're clambering over the body of Bran.
Okay, 16. That's 16. Yeah.
Okay, so that's bad. Are you because your dexterity is less than 16?
Yeah. Nah.
Okay, roll me a d6. Let's just see what happens here. I want to see like if it's a bad dexterity fail or a good dexterity.
4.
That's a 4.
Oh.
Okay, clambering over Bran, you're able to kind of get almost all the way up, but then you start to pull him back into the hallway. So now the 2 of you are kind of like sliding in the hallway as you're trying to like get over his body. You're pretty sure at this point that both of you could get out if nothing grabs you. From Bran's standpoint, he's going through. He's thought he had it. He's kind of smashed against the wall, and now like one of his friends or somebody, he's not really sure who is like climbing on top of it, and there he's sliding back down. Probably some of the glasses. It's not causing hit points of damage, but it's really uncomfortable as your body's sliding back into the window the wrong way.
Somebody's using you as a ladder to.
All right. So we're not going to roll initiative this time, but Umanak is now in this doorway with all these people. I'd have you just roll an opposed check to see if you can get the hell out of here.
Tried to get through.
Yeah, just add your dexterity and your strength and your attack bonus modifier to it.
17.
17. Okay, and you actually managed to slide through as these guards are going one way or the other. And
Nice.
one thing is actually you've managed to get yourself to the street. You can see if you glance left, you can see the heads of 2 of your friends kind of sticking out of the window and their arms. You're not really sure what they're doing.
Yeah. And friend
It's PG-13.
It's a PG-13 channel, but it looks just not quite sure what's going on.
Strange timing for these things. Wonder why they didn't take the door.
Yeah.
Okay. I am over here. I will wave at them.
Okay. And with the Invisible Man, let's let him go next because it is.
Yeah, so I try to look for the best way out right now because I don't know. I mean, is the doorway blocked essentially? Because the window seems to be blocked as well.
The window's kind of blocked by a couple dudes. Yeah. The door, the foyer itself is pretty tangled up with the bodies. These Sleestack are kind of advancing in the hall slowly.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen you kind of vanish as well. They appear to be more interested in figuring out like where you went than these two men that are in the window.
Yeah. Are there any other exits that I could see from that room that we were in? I mean, what are my options here?
Your options are probably to go out. I would say through the door that the Sleestack actually just have entered from. That other room, you're pretty sure there's a door that would get you out to the street or into the courtyard, into the street, that sort of thing. You give a fairly good shot from that room if you can simply get past the Sleestack without being heard.
Exactly. So that's my best bet. So I'm going to try that. Yeah.
Right. I tell you what. Just as long as you roll a 1 through 4, you make it through. Stealth. I'll give you a stealth roll with a substantial bonus.
Cool. On the D6, right?
Yeah. Don't roll a 5 or a 6.
Nice. 1. It doesn't.
All right.
1.
As the Sleestack are kind of like doing the blindsman bluff thing, looking for you, like wondering where the heck you went. They're looking at each other. You manage to slip past them. It's easy enough to get to a door that leads you to part of the courtyard, which then leads you out to the street.
Yeah. So I wait on the street. I'm not going to run off. I want to take a look for at least 1 or 2 minutes because this spell wears off in a turn. So I gotta.
The odd thing is, as you're doing this, you can notice that like while you're invisible, the whole world is kind of like almost ethereal. I'm not sure if you've ever actually been able to handle or to cast a spell before. So this may be your first experience with actually making yourself invisible. Everything seems kind of like a little surreal around you, and it continues to get more and more odd. Like it just seems like you're a little bit disconnected from reality. But as you get to the street, you notice there's something else like floating around in this sort of void, and this face sort of turns to you. It's not a human face, but there's a face, and it seems like you can't tell, is this thing 10 feet away from you or like a mile away from you? But it looks at you, and what might be eyebrows kind of raised, and you notice this thing is taken interest in you and has noticed you.
Is it human looking, Talon looking, or can I tell? It's just a face?
It's more of like a feeling. It's like, not even like you're seeing this.
Okay.
It's just it's something almost mystical. But you get this feeling that you've been noticed by something not of this world.
Gotcha.
Maybe you didn't cast the spell quite right. Now maybe there was something.
Yeah. Do I know of any way to end a spell? I don't know if there's any way to cancel your own spell.
You can voluntarily cancel, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure about that. So in that case, I will not wait for these guys to get out. I'll start running down the street so the Sleestacks don't see me. And as soon as I'm out of sight, I'm going to drop the invisibility spell. If I can.
Right on. No, you can do that. Okay. It's this thing, as you're running, seems to be slowly drifting towards you, but when you stop the spell, it vanishes as well.
Yeah. So I peer around the corner. And try and keep my eye, and I'll wait a moment to see what happens before I take off.
All right. You can see more militia running towards there, and you're just an old man on the street at night. There's no moonlight. With a backpack, heavy backpack. While things are slowly becoming more and more lawless.
Yeah.
Alone at night. In the meantime, unless you'd like to actually roll dice, our other two fellows are able to get on the street through the window, clambering over each other. In other words, you've gotten out of the building successfully.
Okay. All right.
Okay, in that case, I'll whisper Umanak. You know, kind of like a stage whisper. Umanak.
Kind of peeks from behind a corner.
And I'll
I am over here. I killed a sea stack. Yes. Running over.
Are the others following? Or?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian wants to get the hell out of there. It's been declaring it.
Yeah, tumble up, tumble out, obviously, and look both ways and see if which way's the quickest way out, and take it, hot-footed.
Right. So you managed to not get accosted by any members of militia.
Nice.
Walking down the street though, as you're going back towards your house, it is late.
Yeah.
And out of one alleyway, several men all of a sudden come out of the alleyway. It looks like just one of the usual street thug gangs, you know, bunch of young men. They've probably been out, you know, at the tavern all night. The city is in a bit of a tizzy anyway, so a lot of people have hit the taverns. Kind of guys are just kind of up to no good. And you know, they probably see I imagine they see Parthalion first. It's like, nice night for a walk there, Gramps. Oh, you got some guards there with you, huh? You got something important?
Said we need to get out of the streets. There's a flea stack infestation over from the Thorn House mansion over there.
You hear that, Deval? The flea stack are gonna get you. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Why don't you hand over whatever you got there, guys? And they start to pull out daggers.
How many of these guys are there? How many guys?
Are we beside him or
about 8 guys?
8 guys. Wow. Okay, I gotta say though,
because I rolled a 1 on a wandering on a random encounter.
Yes.
I really thought you guys were gonna make it back.
Yeah, it's getting a bit late though. So
we're with him, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He said they call us.
Oh, okay.
Guys,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I wanna pull a little bluff. I say, you boys have been drinking. You know I'm part of the militia. You better get home before you get in trouble.
Kick his ass, and they just run at you.
Okay. Well,
We can stop now, or we can stop right after this because I can't imagine this is going to take very long.
Oh, okay.
all right.
But the reaction roll did not go very well. Yeah, go ahead. Roll for initiative.
2.
4.
7.
Alrighty.
10.
Okie dokie, great. Well, whoever's on 2, I think we got 1, 2.
That's
2?
me. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The one that told me, told him to kick my rear end, I'm going after him. He seems to be their boss man. That's 5 total.
You got to roll high when you're trying to hit.
Yes.
This is how this
I need to
works.
switch that around.
This is how this works.
Anybody on a 3? How about a 4?
Umanak.
Okay, Umanak.
I will go with that same head guy there. Looks like he's the big mouth. Come on, you. 15.
15. Oh, that was a hit.
All right. 7 points.
7 points.
Yes.
How does this man die?
I pretty much just swiped the sword across his throat. Big gout of blood fountains out. And
Big gap of blood.
yeah, he's totally surprised, and slumps to the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. Gurgling.
These guys have their blades out. They see this happen, and they freak. They fail the morale.
Yes.
Beat it! My God, he just killed it! And they start running in all directions.
Nice.
That was the coolest combat ever.
Yeah.
You kill the leader, and they fail the morale check.
It reminds me of that scene from The Outsiders.
Yeah, and they just it's young men full of bravado. Now they've seen the guy that's probably led them around since grade school. Get his throat cut in one fell swoop.
Morale is the best rule that has gotten cut out of every single iteration after like the first one.
Yeah.
It was still there, but it's hidden. You have to look for it to find it. But this is the best rule ever.
I will say, because it's late, without incidents, at that point, from that point on, you're able to get back to how the Saracen is.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
we will find out what happens next.
What happens next? Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you very much for running that, guys. And
Thanks for running that, Ivan. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was great, Ivan.
All right. So I'm going to go to bed.
Right on. And I would say everybody just, my standard rule is everybody was at the cusp of becoming second level. So you all level up, because that's my usual thing is if you survive. Actually, I think the entire game, the only person that took any damage was Brandon. He took 1 point of damage for failing to jump out of a window.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Like, there were several times I really thought these guys might die all of a sudden.
I know. We thought that a bunch of times. So,
I was going to go back to Parthalion and get their guide and tell him I was going to put him in the cellar with the with the other two. But
I will warn you that, like, what we learned from Lamentations in Prussia is there were all these times that they should have died and they didn't, and then they get cocky and then bam, in 2 hits some old lady hits you with a chair leg and you die.
Yeah.
But don't get cocky, kid. All right.
Nice.
Well, I will stop the broadcast and thanks a lot for playing, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.